Hello, hello. There are one of two reasons that you are currently watching this. One is we have run into technical difficulties at the main RPG Limit Break event. Two, we have made it through the event without a major issue going down, or we have, and you've already seen part of this.
We really hope it's the second one, because if it's the first, I'm somewhere stuck in miles of cable spaghetti pulling out my hair and the cables.
Yep. There were a lot of times where Ashen was frantically fixing. So hopefully we're buying him the time to do that without feeling the impending doom of all things. That being said, let's move on quickly so you guys can be entertained to our runner, Sawny, and our commentator, Pidge. Take it away.
Wait, we're providing entertainment? Pidge? That's news to me.
That's a little hard to do when I'm in a non-corporeal form.
I know, right?
But that's the correct form for any body to be, right? That's just... That's my preferred way to be. I don't even have a talking indicator, because the host doesn't on this layout, unfortunately.
Our ninja host, as they do.
So yeah, we're going to be doing Super Mario RPG Randomizer for this, and Pidge and I talked about the file name beforehand. We had one name, but then we decided to use the file name of Void.
Shoutouts to Void.
Major shoutouts to Void. So with that, once we get started, Pidge, I'll let you go ahead and explain everything, the flags that we've got on, all that fun stuff.
Okay. I'll have to review the flags, actually. I don't remember what they are.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm the one that pasted them in the chat.
I know.
Yeah, I wrote these two in like maybe 2 days in advance to make sure we had something ready. So there might be a little bit of disconnection here, but maybe that'll make it a little bit more fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So with that, we're going to get going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Smurf. All right.
Waluigi.
So, well, good. That's very good. So for those of you who have never seen SMRPG Randomizer before, number one, you're missing out. Number two, what we've done with this rando is kind of similar to FF4 Free Enterprise. You'll probably see where I get a lot of my ideas for development during this seed. It's open world. Most of the world map is open to you right at the start of the game. And you don't know which of the bosses have any star pieces, so you gotta find them.
I'm sorry, I need to go back just a quick second. Pidge, did you say you did the development of this?
I'm a developer. I'm not the developer. This version of the rando, I actually didn't contribute all that much to, but I'm in the process of like kind of rehauling the foundation for the whole thing to allow us to do more complicated feature development.
Okay, what do we have available here?
Yes, the shops are shuffled.
Charm, jump shoes. How's our armor look? That's armor. That too is armor. That is actually armor.
Ooh.
And that's actually physical armor, and I don't care as much about physical armor.
Yeah, physical attacks, most of them blockable.
So you guys go over some of the icons here, because as a pleb, I have a very hard distinguishing what we're looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the flags that's happening in this seed is that the stats on weapons and accessories and armor are also randomized. There's a certain weighted distribution, so if it's not great in the original game, it's probably going to be slightly not great in the randomizer as well, but maybe better, maybe worse, you don't know. The symbols that you see there basically are supposed to tell you what that piece of armor resists. Or what it gives you.
There we go.
So if you see a double arrow, that means you get half a Geno boost. So it's basically what the Trupa Pin, the Quartz Charm, and the Ghost Metal give you. If you see a fire, that means it resists fire. If you see fire 1/2, that means it does half damage for that element, like the Betub Ring or the Amulet do. Yeah, it's just all these different properties that are in pieces of equipment in the original game that we just wanted to be able to show to players because there's not really a good way to do it otherwise.
Yeah. When you get a decent look at the symbol system, it makes sense. As like a viewer, it can be a bit hard because randomized runners will just kind of chew right through those menus and you're like, what am I looking at?
Yeah. I only play with vanilla equips, so like even I have a hard time sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean,
the first... Go ahead.
Running vanilla equips is actually kind of fun too.
I'm just so set in my ways.
Nothing wrong with that, though.
Everybody has their favorite settings, yeah?
It's true. And I feel like there are going to be a lot of diverse favorite settings once I drop these 90 new features or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Just a little bit of extra coding.
I made a 90-minute video explaining all of them, but I took it down for a reason I may explain never. So in the randomizer, on the right-hand side of the feed, you'll see there's a tracker.
Ooh.
SMRPG has some key items, and they're mostly like, when you play the original game, there's certain items that you can't sell. They go into your special items inventory. So that's stuff like your rare frog coin, your castle key 1, your elder key, the shed key, things like that. There's a couple of items that are normally in your standard inventory, but that have been made into key items in the randomizer. So that's like your alto, tenor, soprano card. Oh wait, no, those are key items. The bright card is one that becomes a key item. The seed and the fertilizer become a key item. Key items are usually shuffled within each other, but are not always. Are they in this flag set?
They are in this flag set.
They are. Yeah, that's right. I see. We do have that flag enabled. Yeah, so they can be anywhere, and most of those checks just become regular checks. So I think a good way that I think like players will usually start out a seed is just kind of look around at the shop, see what's where. Right now in this version of the randomizer, like I think almost every single item in the game, if not every item, like is available to you in at least one shop. It might not be a shop you have available right away, so you want to see what you do have available. And go check out places like Pipe Vault where you don't necessarily have to fight anything, but you can grab some treasures and see if you can like maybe power yourself up a little bit. Get some good items that might help you, maybe one-shot an early game boss or something like that. Ever get the Star Egg and you get Axum Rangers and Mushroom Way? Very fun.
I mean, I actually have the Star Egg available for purchase.
Yeah.
So I very well may be buying that because it could be my early game damage.
It's very handy.
Definitely sounds very free enterprise-esque for sure, where your beginning gambit is usually some treasure chest hunting and a big shopping trip to figure out where everything is.
So when I first joined the development team for this randomizer, I was playing a lot of free enterprise, so I got like a lot of inspiration for some of the features that are in this. And I think a couple of the other devs are free enterprise fans as well. So like we actually mentioned free enterprise in the credits for the rendo just because like they have so many good ideas and some of them work pretty well for this game as well. Like one of the settings that we have is like in free enterprise you have the pass where what's normally like the dancer area in Toroya and FF4 takes you instead straight to Zeromus. We have a similar thing where you go to Great Guy's Casino with the bright card and then you can go fight Smithy if you have enough star pieces.
Ooh, that's a nice one because the factory and all that's kind of long actually.
It really is. Yeah, that's one thing that I'm going to be adding to the factory is it's an optional setting, but once you get to the inner factory there is going to be an exit trampoline there if you want there to be one.
Nice.
That'll actually be very nice.
Because the refactor I'm doing for this code allows us to put basically any NPC object we want like anywhere. So we're going to have some fun.
It's always nice to get a little bit of a preview for such a nice change.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't like Mega Smilax being there.
Oh, I don't like Mega Smilax being anywhere.
But I at least know that Reticences and Yoshi Age should be available in the Soprano card shop.
That's awesome. having access to red essences and Yoshi's is like, that is the low-level runner's dream right there.
Yep.
What do we have?
Worst case scenario, I can get invincibility.
So some of the symbols that you see here indicate like what stats are boosted. So you see a plus on a shield that's positive defense. You see like a minus on a star rod that's a negative magic power, and that's kind of the ups and downs of what shopping for equips is like. It just kind of gives you a rundown of everything they can do.
I do love the little boots for the jump element, I'm assuming.
So the boot
that's,
is for speed.
Yeah, because you can't inflict jump damage on enemies. You can't receive jump damage from enemies. What am I saying? You can't inflict.
I was about to say, no enemy does jump element.
To be fair, there is a meme in the Mega Man X community where I said something saves half a frame, and I have never been able to live it down, so it could be much worse.
Oh, what do we have? We're going to go health there. Yeah.
So Sawny started off with the first character being Gino, and you recruit all the other characters at parts of the game where they're normally recruited from. So for example, you get a character in the Forest Maze, you get a character from beating the Cake Boss in Marrymore, and there are two other characters like normally you just get for free by walking into the room, but we place them behind adjacent boss fights instead. So like where you would recruit Mallow in Mushroom Kingdom, you have to beat the boss of Mushroom Way to get him instead, because that's right before you would recruit Mallow. Same with like recruiting Bowser is when you complete the Mobile Minecart, you get him. So that character is like actually locked behind a key item. The Bambino Bomb that blows up in the second half of the mines.
That makes sense, because a lot of runners on FE end up turning off the free lunch, so they won't have to work for everything for the most part.
Yeah. Here we have another shop. Erico Cola's for sale. The item prices are a bit shuffled as well, but I think my first contribution to this randomizer was coming up with a formula that determines the cost of a piece of equipment based on what it offers you.
Oh, I love that the name has actually changed to Waluigi.
Yeah.
Instead of just Mario. It's great.
I can't remember if that's a feature that I made or not. I legit do not remember who made palette swaps. I remember like recruiting a team to make the palette swaps. It got some very talented spriters working on the different palettes. Actually, the Armageddon devs let us use their Luigi palette.
Shout out to Dark Kefka and Doomsday for that, as I completely skipped Nimbus Land because I want to do Nimbus Land skip apparently.
I forget to hit button.
Doomsday was actually very important in the progression of the in-progress randomizer version that I'm releasing, because I was stuck on it for a very long time. One of the features that I'm adding is that the freestanding items, like the flower that you can grab just sitting on the island in Roseway, or just like any item that's just normally on the ground, like those can be shuffled too. But because they're actually loaded into the room as a sprite, the game's VRAM has to know in what order it's supposed to load things. So I built this code that will look at all the sprites in a room and make a guess at what the configuration for the VRAM is supposed to be. But the problem is that it generates too many configurations, and the game can only hold like up to 120 of them, and there's 500 rooms. A lot of them get reused in the original game, and I couldn't make that happen. So I was stuck for like 2 years until Doomsday showed me how to use a Super Nintendo debugger, and then I figured out how to move that table to a place in the ROM where we don't have to worry about space. So we're back in business, baby.
That's fantastic. Hopefully we'll be able to do a random encounter on that at some point.
It's going to be so cool.
Just need to get Sony a SD to SNES or whatever, so it'll actually run. Silly thing. But yeah, I've seen Armageddon. That game is a very good tweak of Super Mario RPG. If you haven't had a chance to play it, it's probably one of the better ones out there that's like not specifically a rando.
I don't have to worry about encounters anymore.
Heck yeah.
Oh my
I love
god,
it.
there's a free star egg!
Okay. And then we
Okay.
also going to get Bowser, so we're going to start getting some glitchy sprites here soon, I think. Which is
It
fantastic.
depends on if I get any Bowser weapons.
Oh, that's right. It's the Bowser weapons, not Bowser. I'm so sad
Yeah.
right now.
I actually do know 2 speedrunners of Armageddon. They're very cool. It's I'm terrible at that game.
Yeah, I've watched a bit of it because Sonny wanted me to do commentary for it. It's a really interesting one for sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
to be fair,
it's so
Paige, you
impressive.
actually, 3.
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute, you forgot me.
No. Because Doom actually picked up the most recent version, and then Necro still holds the world record, and then I'm sitting in like 3rd.
Oh,
cool.
jinx. That's dang, I didn't get anybody to say it with me. I was hoping to get a free soda.
This is a really nice spot to get a boss like Jinx or any other boss that is just a single character, or at least like a character that doesn't have multiple phases. Because like the original Hammer Bros here each have 50 HP, so whatever boss comes here, if it's a single character, then they get 100 HP, just like in Free Enterprise. So the Star Egg, which does 100 static damage that ignores defense, is like a guaranteed one-hit KO on the boss in the Mushroom Way.
And now I gotta decide. Yeah. We're gonna go for the Sailor Pants due to the magic boosting capabilities on them. Or magic defense, shall I say.
Honestly,
I actually do have fixes in place for some of the glitches that happen with battle graphics, but not all of them. There's some that you just can't do anything about, and Bowser weapons are one of them.
I may be childish here, but I find the glitches very endearing, honestly.
Yeah.
If that could be a toggle, I would be totally down because that stuff was part of what sold me on this, honestly.
So a lot of the glitches are going to stay. There's only like a couple that there's like 1 or 2 that I fixed that I found to be kind of like obstructive when I'm trying to figure out what to do in the fight, but like a lot of the funnier ones like are actually staying.
For like timing purposes, for timed attack or timed blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense for sure.
So I don't happen to know
Go
if this is Bloom 1 or Bloom 2.
Oh, yes, that's right. Because we don't distinguish between those and the overworld sprites that represent them.
Yep.
Balloon is too big to fit on the world map, so I had to represent him with a scarecrow, and that thing was extraordinarily hard to animate.
I imagine.
Animate, you say? It doesn't look very animated to me.
Well, what I mean is that
Nope.
To get it to move, I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, so like in this game's graphic engine, normally sprites by default are always facing southwest.
Okay.
Scarecrows face northwest. So when you try to get it to... Sorry,
get ready for lag.
Oh, heck yeah.
Whee! Murder Machine has come to town, baby!
Because the FX pack, compared to the SD to SNES, will actually lag here.
Oh, yes, that's right.
As I run into the K9.
Luckily, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, with the Scarecrow, when it jumps around like Croco's supposed to, is reading Croco's animation script, but that's full of instructions like face southwest, face northwest, face northeast, and those directions are all flipped for the Scarecrow, so I had to manually patch every single one of those.
Oh, that sounds like just a fun time.
It is the worst code I have ever written, and that's saying something because I started learning how to code when I was 13.
I've seen some videos about
for a while.
I've seen some videos about Nightmare, a spaghetti code. I've seen a lot of videos that are like, learn to clean your stuff up or it's gonna be awful.
It's true.
Speaking of Nightmare Spaghetti and making it just work, we are here. You are watching a recording that we are making prior to the event that we really, really, really hope you're watching on YouTube after the event ends. But if you happen to be watching this during the event, that's because something terribly wrong has happened in Denver, and so we are using this to mask the time that we're taking to try and fix stuff. But the event is still live, and we are here. We are RPG Limit Break 2025. We are proudly supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI was formed in 1979 as a grassroots advocacy organization by a group of parents whose children suffered with serious mental illness, and they have maintained that focus to this day. So we are raising money for that. 100% of your donations will go to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Please visit our website, rpglimmitbreak.com/donate, and get your donations in. We are still accepting donations. We might not be live from the hotel, but the donation page is still live, and NAMI is still receiving all the help we can give them.
Heck yeah.
Perfect timing for that to end as Balloam dies.
Ashen, our tech expert, our restreamer, and our host.
Yeah.
Shoutouts.
Ashen does everything.
He literally does. If he wasn't here, I'd perish the thought where we would be. I do not know.
You would all be fine, but I enjoy doing the everything, so I'm going to keep doing it until somebody tells me I have to stop.
I always worry
that.
about burning you out, but that drive is the most endearing trait.
Pidge, did you see what I got?
I saw an Energizer. What was the first one you got?
Shed
Bambino?
key.
Oh, you got the Shed Key. Oh, Shed Key is very nice because that opens up all of the shops in Seaside Town.
And
Which it's funny that like the window of the shed is the only window in the game that you can interact with.
Yeah.
It's super nice too, because like in a normal playthrough you'd have to deal with that Smilex that you rolled, but we can ignore it for a bit longer now.
Yeah.
Okay. There look to be some good weapons in here.
I do remember one of the seeds we we're looking and like, oh, this hammer's good. We grab it and it's the lucky hammer, and we're like, oh no.
That is actually a pretty good star gun.
That is quite good. It's plus 71 attack. That's even better than the original Star Gun, I think.
Yes. If I remember, I don't think so.
Well, I know that, so most of the endgame weapons for Mallow, Peach, and Mario, I think, are plus 70 BP, but Gino's are lower because he has higher base attack.
Yeah. So,
And Bowser's are even lower for the same reason.
Are you serious?
But it came back.
2 coins short? Like, for real? So another thing that you probably noticed about this rando is that, Bowser can't normally equip the Star Gun in the original game, so who can use what weapons is shuffled around too, and as you heard earlier, that does cause some very funny graphical glitches because certain characters were not meant to be animated with certain items. The spells are also randomized, so who learns what? Maybe Gino knows how to jump. That is kind of has the same effect of things that these characters were not meant to learn.
That is
a beefy accessory. That is a defense boost. Wow,
that's an Armageddon attack scarf.
Yeah.
Doomsday, is that you? I'm just like, whoa. That fell out of a raw hack right into the rando.
Here we go.
Are we doing max skip? Now you're speaking my language.
So I can attempt it, but I still haven't mastered it.
That's
yeah, because you normally do Armo where it's hard patched. You got to fight this guy.
Nope. I was too far forward. I'll at least try it. Oh, I may have made mistakes.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's Countdown. Oh
no,
dear.
Countdown. Why?
Shoutouts
can you
to
get
my
away
boy
with like
Countdown.
spamming Star Egg?
I might be able to, but
Firebomb might be better.
Shoutouts to our boy Countdown.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Countdown.
Ironically, actually, I think he's got to run this year. Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Oh, does he? Oh,
Taking
that's
this to
awesome. I love him.
Wait, I guess we'll the audience will know because it's either happened or hopefully it has happened by the time they're seeing this.
Time is working on. Time to recover.
Oh,
Yes!
no.
Yes!
Ooh.
Yes!
Okay.
Yo, what is this god? Like RNG?
Yes!
Countdown is one of the first friends that I made in the speedrunning community, and he's also a very old friend of my boyfriend, Sean Cass.
Fun fact, Pidge, Countdown was one of my first friends in the speedrunning community, alongside Ox was when I was grinding attempts in Kirby Superstar.
That's incredible. That makes a lot of sense. Those are two guys I like a lot.
It's very interesting because, like, there's a lot of the linchpins of communities are fairly, like, prevalent, not only as runners, but also as, like, parts of people's friends group because they go out of their way to help teach. Like, for me with X3, like Louise and Ziwu were good friends of mine, but they also were world record holders at one time or another. Louise is always taking something and running away, so it's not surprising to hear that Countdown and Oxwas, two of the very strongest runners in this game, are friends with a lot of the community. That's great to hear.
I mean,
literally, that's how I met my boyfriend. He went out of his way to help me learn the speedrun when I was really bad at it, and 10 years later, he lives in my apartment.
What a shock.
How it started versus how it's going. He's telling me timing. He said blocking hammer time is important is the first thing he ever said to me, I think.
Blocking hammer time is very important. Oh my gosh, I forgot the jump.
Oh, nice.
You know, if you got too many people randomly in your apartment, you can spray for that. You know, they make
Scattered. She's got the spray.
I'm playing it safe there.
I do the same thing.
Like, I can do the actual movement to save the X amount of frames, but no.
There are two parts in Lens End where different people get mad at me. One of them is that movement with the geckos. Sean gets mad at me when I don't do the fast geckos, and the other one is the donut bridge. And Beth gets mad at me if I jump onto the second donut lift instead of the third one.
There's that one guy that's always like, "Why you no do this?"
They're allowed. One's my boyfriend, and the other's a very good friend.
Cow. That's too.
Ooh, tender card. That's quite nice.
I have the Sia.
Keep this up, and you might be able to go to the liquor store with all these cards. One of them must be the right age.
Oh, I am in a bad spot right now.
Oh dear. Well.
Ozzy's in a pickle.
Ozzy's no longer in a pickle.
Yo, let's go. I was like, this is about to be a B-Jam moment.
No, this is the boo block. Hey, Dodo.
The worst is when that happens in the sunken ship when you're trying to do a low-level speedrun.
Oh, gosh, no kidding there.
That's happened to me. I've gotten trapped by the fish and couldn't get out.
The crazy
and I won the gamble on the YOLO firebomb.
The fact that this can be beat in low level, like, is kind of wild. The stuff that you can get away in some of these older games with, like, a lot of knowledge. And that there's some of the glitches I was talking about. 2 Geno.
Yeah.
Count them 2.
Yep. Why have 1 Geno when you can have 2?
I mean, I know a lot of people who would agree with that.
I thought we put on See No Do. What is this?
I mean, you and I both agree with that, that's for sure.
No! Geno, why? A's purple. I love this.
Sonny, did you see the plushies I got last week?
I have not.
Oh, I have to show you later. I got a Geno and a Mallow.
Oh, yes!
Did you post them in the public Discord, or...?
I don't think I posted them in the Discord. I think I meant to, but there was like some heavier subject matter being talked about. I don't want to just interrupt with pictures of my plushies.
It's always appropriate to interrupt with pictures of plushies. That's what the off-topic channel is for.
Yeah,
true.
I love
open
our
up
Discord.
Google Photos.
We have a slight problem because Bowser's got group hug, which means I might have to build in a magic Bowser.
A magic Bowser? Oh man! So if for anyone who isn't familiar with the randomizer watching this, we do randomize the stats that the characters get upon level up and what their general like stat curves are, but they are kind of like weighted according to what they are in the original games. Like there's a good chance that Bowser won't be your strongest magic person. He could be, it's just not very likely. So if you want to build a magic Bowser, you better hope you got a very lucky seed for that.
Yep.
Not as nice as like a magic Sabin build, which is reasonable.
Oh no!
Oh, that's a box. Well, time to pick your body up off the floor.
Well, I think I might be dead here.
You might be okay. I think that the crystals will be gone after 2-star eggs.
I hope so, because I forget what the crystal's health actually scales to here.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head.
That being gone is good, but I need Earth out of the question.
You know, I'm such a big dummy that the Earth one always like just struck me as lightning for some reason. That might just be the Final Fantasy VII head in me. I'm like, yellow, lightning.
I do need to. Nice. I do need to
Yes, sir.
to point out how hilarious this music is against this like Final Fantasy VII Sephiroth-y looking angel boss.
Yeah,
but it's Culex.
it's the only place Culex ever shows up. It's like a nod to FF4 actually, because these came out in a similar time frame and Square handled this game. But you literally only see him in this and the remake, kind of like Gino. But the Piccadilly track is supposed to be when you're in a minecart ride, not fighting for your life against the super boss.
I remember when Pat CDR discovered that like the Corndilly music like was compatible with battles, so like that ended up the feature right away. Thanks to him.
It's one of those posts in the Discord where I've discovered the best thing and possibly the worst thing ever.
One of my favorite things about Culex is that in the Japanese release, he's kind of like a joke character. He's like a bit gag. And versus in the English, he's kind of like very mysterious, very serious. But in Japanese, he just says stuff like, I don't understand the third dimension.
I think I remember reading like the translate, or when I was playing the remake, that he kind of said that. So I was like, wait, that seems a bit different.
Yeah, the remake kind of combined the original script as well as Ted Woolsey's version, which I liked a lot because that kind of like brought both sides of Culex like to the same thing. Like he's definitely like the very threatening villain, but he's also like it's funny that he's got like his bit about being 2D.
It also fits with like the schism between the Woolsey and like the original.
An absolute legend.
I mean you can't have the term Woolseyism without it like kind of implying that, like you get a term like kind of a turn of a phrase based on your name, you've done something.
Ted Woolsey did an absolutely incredible job with this game. Like he really captured the humor that SMRPG was supposed to have and made it understandable to Western audiences. Like we all thought this game was hilarious. Like he really knew what he was doing with this because he didn't have to worry about like when he was translating FF6 not being allowed to say the word death in a game where the world ends. In this game, he just got to have fun.
Yeah, I'm honestly like with the turn of Kefka. I know a lot of people can be a little bit meh on it, but I kind of like the more aloof Kefka. Do appreciate the Rosalina too. I noticed the name, but I didn't want to say anything just yet. I thought it was cooler when we saw the sprite.
I mean, I also had to remind myself in this that I'm not playing Arma because one of the paths has 2 bees, and it's complete and total RNG whether or not you avoid the bees.
Yeah, I would hate that.
That's why I said bee jam earlier. I've seen a couple of runs die to those bees, just absolutely shanghaiing him. Those are some stats.
All right. So he's weak to ice. Cool. Those the psychopath messages that you see have just all been changed to show what the enemy resists and what they're weak against. And I think it was those sprites as well as the ones in the descriptions for your equipment. Those were custom characters made by both Esenbai and Sean Cass and Alanim. I think the 3 of them like worked together on those, and they've been really good to have. Very, very good to have.
Yeah, I was going to say those have to be custom because I don't remember them appearing anywhere in the original game. It's really cool.
One of my dreams for this rando is to bring it into other languages because I understand a bit more about how the dialogue engine works now.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
The hardest thing to figure out was the compression tables, which I understand them like inside out in English now. I still don't really know how they work in Japanese, though.
Oh yeah,
Very
because there's a lot of difference because of the characters and the way that they parse things.
Yeah, like the encoding for English is like, duh, it's just ASCII, but in Japanese it's like, I'm looking at the banks for dialogue, and I'm like, this does not, I don't think these are even in the same place in these ROMs.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's kind of wild what they did translating them, because like I know like 4, 5, and 6, like they almost have a completely different item table and stuff to make it work. So there must be some massive differences between the languages.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to some of the other ROM hackers and see if we can crack that case. There's an SMRPG modding Discord that's become quite active lately, and I love it because I get to talk shop with all these other hackers who have done some amazing things.
Is it the one that focuses around Lazy Shell?
I don't know if it... I mean, there's a channel for Lazy Shell.
Oh my gosh, we have our first star piece.
Oh, hooray!
30 minutes in. Let's go. Progression!
Yeah.
Well, and in celebration of that, and based on the conversation we were just having, I do really quickly want to send shout-outs to the people involved with our foreign language restreams. Our French restream, I have no idea what they're doing with this. Like, if the restreams are seeing this video right now, we know something's gone wrong. Because if you're watching this video live, it's because terrible things are happening at the hotel, and I'm tearing my hair out trying to fix them. So we definitely want to shout out the restream, who would have had no idea what to do with this. But the French restream can be found at twitch.tv/lefrenchrestream, and our Japanese restream can be found at twitch.tv/Japanese_restream. If those restreams can help you better enjoy the marathon, please go check them out and send them some love. And as always, we are here. We are RPG Limit Break 2025. We're not technically live, although we kind of are right now. We are still raising money for NAMI. Please visit our website, rpglimitbreak.com/donate to donate towards NAMI.
Yeah, hopefully if we do fire this up, this is about as far as we get. We just cold cut people. We're like, sorry, you're going to have to watch the other half after the end of the marathon. Right there, we cut right there.
That would be...
I think it's about 34 minutes in. Give him another 3. It'll be funnier that way.
Yeah.
So, the English release of SMRPG came out in 3 world regions, only one of which actually speaks English as their main language.
Oh, really?
The game also came out in Brazil and South Korea, and the dialogue was all in English.
Interesting.
You know, I've heard that from some of my friends in Brazil, that a lot of them like learn partial or complete English from like translating RPGs. Is one of the ones I hear very commonly.
Yeah, that's SMRPG was like, it was very popular in Brazil when it came out, and it just kind of like showed what could have been if they had made a PAL release that was compatible like with European consoles, but they didn't. Brazil was super lucky to get it because they're technically a PAL region, but they're only PAL because of the color encoding of the Super Nintendo, its output. The Super Nintendo doesn't care about color encoding, it cares about frame rate and scan lines, which in that region matches up with NTSC. So they got to play this game perfectly fine, and it did so well there that it got its own board game.
Ooh,
there is
crazy.
A licensed SMRPG board game that only came out in Brazil.
Interesting. Yeah, like, I know some series are like super popular over there. Like, obviously, I think like the common knowledge is like Sega is super popular in that region. But I know there's quite a few people that are super hyped on the Mega Man X stuff. To the point, there is somebody that actually made an X8 demake, I believe, is the lead dev from that, or the only dev, and that is a fantastic game. The X8 demake. It's kind of a remake in a sense, but it pushes it back down to 16. A lot of people have been speedrunning it recently. So, but if you're into stuff,
my
like
jaw
that.
just dropped when I saw this. When they all fell asleep, I love that.
Yeah, we got a very interesting party. Normally, the synergy can be a little bit goofy, but I've seen a lot of sleep, and because in a lot of other games, like either status effects do nothing, or they just completely trivialize everything.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that director went to sleep, I was like, okay, this is free?
Yeah, I love that, because only physical attacks wake them up, and you can do just so much without physical attacks. Like, they don't even wake up if you jump on them. But he can still counter you in his sleep. I wish I could do that in my sleep.
I know, right? Oh, man.
Yeah, because go ahead.
When I came into this fight, I was like, oh no, this is either going to be really, really good or really, really bad. There's not going to be an in-between.
Yeah, we've had a couple of scary fights that we just kind of speed bumped past. Pretty good luck so far.
You say that, and then I'm going to run into Gun Yoke at Raspberry and Bunt.
Hey man, we still got another 2 hours that we got scheduled here.
Okay, Toadstool just got Super Jump.
Ooh! So one thing that I wanted to mention earlier, with the whole SMRPG being in multiple regions thing, was that for all that Brazil did to show their love for this game, the remake didn't come out in Portuguese. It came out in 15 other languages and not Portuguese, and I felt I want justice for Brazil. That just makes me sad.
That's made me
rude.
so sad to find out. Do I remember where jump shoes were? The answer is no.
Jump shoes. I probably should have written that down. I could have been sitting here being useful, and instead I'm just talking about SMRPG trivia.
I mean, nothing wrong with
Which
that.
is incredibly useful, let's be honest.
Yeah.
True.
That's the most important.
There are no jump shoes here. I think if they weren't in Mushroom Kingdom, I think they might have been in Rosetown.
Yeah, this is what our co-op boils down to. He asks me where something is, and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't write it down. I already bought it. It's not my problem anymore. What a partner.
Yep.
Well, I'll give you one if I could.
And she can't even use them. Oh, that's
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 just rude.
mean.
well. Yeah, we'll sell something and grab a corpse charm. Corpse charm. Yeah, apparently I cannot English. That's good.
Apparently it's bone armor. Okay, sure.
I could corpse charm both of them.
I mean, you got enough cash for it, but that's about all you got money for. I do find it wild that the choice is flower box, flower jar. Nah, I need money.
I mean, the downside is I may not be able to super jump, but the
Fair.
upside is that I at least have a
You can
corpse charm.
survive. Yeah, I mean, you can survive now, ideally. It's an interesting give and take with randomizers that how the playstyle kind of presents itself. Do you value magic or do you value physical? And what are you willing to do to meet those? It's I've been playing a lot of ooh.
That could be bad. I swear I've done a little bit of practice on booster tower movement.
Yeah.
1, 2, excuse me, 4, 6, 5, 3.
I'm so bad about this. I had to look up the video. I don't remember how this works.
653124. I'll never forget that number sequence.
Yep. Granted,
I'll probably
I count it from the other way.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Because I go right to left on counting it.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
It's very interesting the nuances of lining things up and counting with some of these things. You're just oh yeah, it's this, and then you're what does that even mean? And then you realize that it's numpad notation for fighting.
That's a super suit.
But is
What's
it
a gut?
super?
What's a gut?
Good
Numbers.
enough stats for Bowser.
He's no longer
What's
fuzzy.
that?
He is now super.
Oh, he resists all elements. That's nice.
Null, fire, ice, and lightning. Good grief.
Wow,
On
that's
top of that-
vanilla behavior.
Yeah, he's at 219 base attack power.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Well, we got our hard carry. Now we just got to find a good accessory for him. Question mark.
You were saying?
Well, Rosalina has been sacrificed to the gods.
Oh, dear Lord.
Please let somebody but Bowser be able to equip this. I must have my glitchy glitch.
We're gonna get the glitch.
Yeah! All
Maybe
I could ask for.
Maybe as an Easter egg, I'll make there be like a 2% chance that the drill is only spelled with one L.
Oh, yes!
All right.
Also, this box is kind of just broken.
Yeah,
it's
I don't know
trying.
what we did to make that happen. I have a fix for that
no
because I
idea
legitimately don't know how that happened.
It's one of those like super endearing things that you're like, this is goofy. Why this happen? I don't know. Leave it. It's funny.
The treasure chests are like extremely hard to work with in this version of the randomizer because like the way that we do this is by just hard patching bytes in event scripts, which gives you like very, very little flexibility for what you can do. And treasure chests are very complicated. I remember, I think one time I woke up in the middle of the night and I went over to the PC, and this is when we were still developing Treasure Chest Rando. I said, guys, this is gonna sound stupid, because it is, but I just came up with the treasure chest algorithm in my sleep, so I'm here to write it down before I forget it. And now we have it in the randomizer.
I mean, that totally sounds like something you do, though.
I mean, I haven't gotten that far yet, but a lot of times I'll be laying in bed and I'm like, oh no, we have to deal with this thing. All right, well, I'm not going to sleep yet.
I love that you could just stick your nose out from behind the curtains and they don't see you because you're technically in the other tiles.
I was literally on the last possible pixel to not be seen there.
My favorite thing to do is like play with the turbo controller and like turbo the B button while I'm behind there, like just to make people mad.
I mean, to be fair, and I haven't been using it, but
yeah, I wish
I have my ASCII pad.
Heck yeah. I play with an ASCII pad because I have no shame.
Every community kind of has their rules on it, and I can respect it. But at the end of the day, the things that are a priority for the healthiness of the community is super important, whether it be like mental or physical. And some people just refuse to learn to mash right, so I would rather not give carpal tunnel to the runners.
That's true. There are times when, like, even if turbo isn't explicitly, like, in the rule set, I'll do it anyway just because, like, I don't really submit to leaderboards anymore.
Yeah. I definitely, there's some times where I kind of wish I had turbo so I could just, like, leave it on and be like, I'm gonna go pee. I do not care. Unfortunately, I run a lot of modern games, so we just skip cutscenes instead of mash through them. Whee!
Oh, dear.
That doesn't look healthy.
What happened? What happened?
He's 4 claws taped together, I guess. I guess this is like four kids in a trench
Bowser
coat
now.
Yep.
That's why I was talking about this. The Bowser weapons tend to like cause chaos, and it's the most endearing part of the rando.
Nope.
Yeah, there's a specific technical reason why that happens with Bowser in particular. This game's sprite system was awful to reverse engineer, but the way that it works is really clever. But Bowser just loads too many tiles into anywhere he goes.
Oh, because he's larger than the other characters?
Yeah, every other character can use what's called a grid plane sprite, where if their sprite is like less than 32 by 32 pixels, then they can fit it all like in a single plane, which means that they take up basically no VRAM at all. Bowser is too big for that to ever happen, so he always has to use he always has to use tile map sprites, which take up a crap ton of memory. So anywhere that he goes, like, you gotta be very careful with your graphics when Bowser's in the room.
Interesting.
Speaking of being very careful, I'm about to push into the actual fight against the Blade here. And if you know this fight, you know exactly what's about to be coming up.
Yeah, like no matter where you find this fight, like a breaker beam is still a breaker beam.
Yeah, the hitting the full party for mass.
I don't have boosts. And,
I believe.
got the
I believe.
charm. He should be able to survive this.
Just simply dodge, forehead.
Forehead.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a one thing I guess like casuals may not know. What is it? You can dodge physicals, but you can't dodge magic. That's just kind of a random chance, right?
Okay. He had.
Yeah, it's random. Oh, also, this boss spot has like extremely low magic power. But Breaker Beam is still scary regardless. Like Booster has no magic to speak of.
Yeah, there's some things where like the base or the multiplier is just so high, it really doesn't matter if it's times one.
Yeah,
Now-
Breaker Beam and Corona are the two worst ones.
If it had been in this spot, that'd be a whole different story.
Is that my man Box Boy?
It is.
He's the jerk. He's the only mimic in the original game that doesn't give you coins when you reload his room.
Ooh.
What are those pictograms?
Oh, those are just depicting what his status, weaknesses, and resistances are.
Yeah, can we talk about how the scan ability is called Psychopath, though? Like, that's...
That's a very Ted Woolsey thing to happen.
Yeah, that's like the one where I was like, eh?
Question
Oh,
mark?
of course you're immune.
If anything, I will give it to him. He made me learn a word.
I guess he was trying to. Maybe he was going for like. It's not really telepathy. It's not really psychology. It's psychopathy.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't.
Exactly.
I guess it could have been a lot worse. Going back to like the language thing, that's one thing I realized recently. I've been watching like a lot of challenge videos for like Rebirth, and I've noticed that like the foreign language is like some of the, instead of it being like thunder, thundera, thundica, it's like mega, giga, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have to call these tier 1 and 2 and 3 because this don't make sense in different languages.
Yeah. My name in the SMRPG Discord was Box Boy for like 4 years.
Yeah, it was. That was the time that I had joined in to the server. That's some good news.
Unfortunate.
I don't care about that.
All right,
Look.
Bowser, do your thing. Murder the box.
Yeah, 1600 HP looked very high, but when you're doing like 500 damage a pop, it's not that scary at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go from like modern inflated numbers to this stuff, you're like, oh, he took like 10 damage. That's not a problem. And then you're like, oh, wait, that's right. We have like 50 hit points.
Yeah.
And we can say goodbye to the Fatso.
Me going from FF4 to SMRPG.
Yeah.
Exactly. Still no weapon for Gino. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, because it usually turns out that you need like 1 to 2 carries rather than just one. It's a bit dangerous.
When I find Mario, I have a weapon for him. But the question is, where Mario?
Where Mario, indeed, as we find him in the church.
Well.
Oh, that looks like fun.
I'm adding a feature to the rando that shuffles the Marrymore gear.
Ooh. I had a 50-50 on it, you know.
No, I just lost it at randomizing the Marrymore gear.
Please no.
They become key items, but it's a setting that you have to enable.
Even still.
I get a lot of ridiculous ideas from playing Zooter. It's like, what on earth are you doing? You're randomizing silver rupees? Okay, I gotta add some silly things to this randomizer too.
That flag that one person checks, but that one person loves it.
Me.
The ZFG setting, as it were.
Yeah. I make so many features that are like, I think this would be fun. I don't know if anyone else will like it. Yo, look at these super jumps.
Yeah.
Pretty solid, yeah.
All right, well, we enjoy those. I do want to remind everyone, this is RPG Limit Break 2025, even though it's technically not live right now. But if you're watching this on a live stream on Twitch or even a live stream on YouTube, the stream is still live. I'm desperately trying, well, probably more than just me, but we're desperately trying to get us back online at the hotel. But in the meantime, we have this recording that we're making for you. But even though this is a recording, we do want to tell you that RPG Limit Break 2025 is proud to support the National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization. They provide advocacy, education, support, and public awareness to improve the lives of all individuals and families affected by mental illness. One of the ways they do this is the NAMI Helpline, which is a free US-based nationwide peer support service providing information, resources, referrals, and support to people living with mental health conditions, their family members, caregivers, and mental health providers. The NAMI Helpline is available Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time via phone, text, and live web chat. To reach the NAMI Helpline, please call 1-800-950-6264. That's 1-800-950-6264. Or visit NAMI.org/help to access all NAMI Helpline resources and contact information. And again, we are raising money for this, for NAMI and for these helplines and other things that NAMI does. Please visit rpglimitbreak.com/donate to put forward your dollars to help as well.
I'm going to be honest. All these host blurbs are getting me in the mood. And now I got to wait like a week and a half. Man, this is such a tease.
I know, right?
No, don't open the curtain. Don't talk about how early it is before the event.
I wish I was going.
We do too.
I wish you were coming or going to Limit Break as well. Coming to Limit Break, going to Limit Break, however you want to phrase it.
Yeah, I'm glad that we have found a place that everybody is willing to go to, and we can actually put the event on in a space where everybody feels safe this year.
Colorado's been doing some pretty based stuff lately.
Yeah, very much like it is a main concern. I wish we'd been able to do it sooner, but I'm glad that everybody has at least an option to come now, rather than being like, yeah, that's not reasonable. No thanks.
So don't question why I unequipped the super suit from Bowser. It's about to make sense.
Dude, if you don't,
okay.
You're scaring me, man. You're making some wild plays.
No, I
don't trust this.
If it could be equipped by anybody else.
Okay.
I was making sure this wasn't like a panic sell. I'm like, there's no way you need money. Please, don't do this.
Are y'all ready?
I want to make this seat uncompletable.
Oops, I screwed up the route for room 1, and I can't hit the flower. Good job, me.
That's some Armageddon.
I made an Android app one time for learning the order of the flowers.
That is an Armageddon moment for sure.
Yeah.
These rooms are a little bit different in the Armageddon variation or remix of the game. Also, these little sack guys move a little bit different, and Sonny's used to running that, so it sometimes can throw him off on the randos. Or it might just be us yapping, who knows?
No. That was full brain just went, yeah, by the way, I'm turning off.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of those during practice attempts. I'm just like, brain, where are you? I was fine 5 seconds ago, and now I'm just like...
Starflowers, please. I love you forever. I just need you to work.
I hate to break it to you, but apparently the feeling ain't mutual.
No, it's not.
I just need you to work.
It very much isn't.
Is almost certainly what I'm yelling at our entire rig right now if people are watching this live.
Free star!
Yeah, free star piece! Woo! There's like a 25% chance or something of that being there.
No Axum Rangers, Sag.
This isn't Arma. I don't have the correct equipment to fight them anyway if this were Arma. I would be so dead.
Yeah. That'll be a random encounter thing in the near future. I can promise that one. So you guys will know what we're talking about eventually.
By the way, I haven't saved in who knows how long. And I'm going to do the really dumb thing.
So what is the level of safety for like being gutsy like that? If you get murdered, do you go back to the save point or does it reset you before a boss fight?
You go back to the save point and pretty much everything that you have killed after that save point respawns.
So it's basically pushes you back to wherever you last saved. So you've just been playing it like a fool. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I was about to say, it's normal for me.
Yeah. No risk, no reward. I get autosave, so I don't have to think about it.
But this fight's going to take a bit.
Yeah.
Because, it's Mega Smilax. And
Luckily, we have a...
Oh, crap. I just realized we don't know what Petal Blast is going to inflict.
Nothing like a party-wide random status effect.
Well, hopefully this isn't another Petal Blast inflicts Sleep Seed. I'm okay with it inflicting the Mushroom status. I'm not okay with it inflicting Sleep.
Yeah, because Mushroom wears off on its own, right? Sleep, you have to be knocked out of it.
Yeah.
I guess Smilax is one of the 3 female boss characters.
Interesting.
Her name is Queen Flower in Japanese, and the other 2 obviously are Valentina and Birdo. Well, I guess Axon Pink too, she counts.
I was about to say Axon Pink counts as well. We can't forget about her.
That's true. So 4.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see the like baked, not really like intentional diversity, but the difference in genders between the 2, where it's kind of more obscured in different languages.
All right, we're gonna go for this.
We go harder. Well, I mean, we just saved, so we can go home pretty easily.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I was about to say
there was minimal risk to going home.
Turn off the stream and just call it a day.
We're all home. I don't know what we're talking. We're all home right now.
Right?
So
Okay, what is Petal Blast going to do? Actually, the better question: how dead am I here? Because this is Eurytovic's spot.
Yes.
No whammy, stop.
Scarecrow. Okay.
And dead.
That's not the worst thing in the world.
No, I can absolutely work with it.
Yeah, you also, especially because you have Freshen Up too.
Well, there's that. There's Group Hug with Bowser. And that's actually going to be
true.
The take.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because he can just cure himself with that. Nice.
I got to appreciate that the Star Dance is the hard carry.
Which,
well, I mean, the Star Egg actually gets some good damage out. It just takes a while.
Yeah, it's the animation normally like makes it.
No, Scarecrow Dust.
Well, that's a bit redundant. That's
it,
not Scarecrow.
That's actually fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that's okay because I can only have one status at a time, and Scarecrow nullifies mute.
Yep.
Oh, so it's a hierarchy.
There's a hierarchy of status ailments.
Yeah, it's whatever the highest bid is.
I kind of love that with like old RPGs where it's like, well, I mean, you can inflict mute and then you don't get berserk, etc., etc.
Yep.
I mean, FF4 is a huge proponent of that.
I'm pretty sure mute is the lowest status effect. I always have to remember it's MSFP whenever I'm doing development work.
All right, well, congratulations on that awesome boss fight. We have been going for an hour, so I'm going to remind our audience once again that if you are watching this on a live stream, no, we're technically not live. You are watching a pre-record because something has happened, and we're working hard to fix it. But we appreciate you staying and watching. We are, of course, RPG Limit Break 2025, coming at you sort of from Denver, Colorado. We will be coming from Denver once things get fixed. But even though we're here in this kind of like nebulous things are broken at the hotel void, donations are still open, which means that there are still incentives and prizes that can be donated for. Via your generous donations, you get to potentially name characters, make our runners complete difficult or ridiculous tasks, or help pick up which story you see in certain games. You can also become eligible to win numerous prizes donated by community members and others. And remember that 100% of your donations go directly to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. who we are always proud to support here at RPG Limit Break. So please go to our website, rpglimitbreak.com/donate. There you can see what incentives are open. You can see what prize blocks we're in, what prizes you can donate to potentially win. And we appreciate all of your support for NAMI.
Yeah, I remember early on in like year one, the conceit was we were going to cycle through charities like SGDQ was supposed to, but it ended up being so productive for them to keep going with Doctors Without Borders that they kind of stuck with it. And we're like, oh no, we'll go through different charities. We did NAMI the first year, and then everybody is like, we feel very strongly about mental illness. And we're like, okay, you've convinced us. It wasn't hard, but you've convinced us. I'm very excited that we get to work with them every year.
And they're absolutely wonderful. Like, Bob the Ninja Goldfish, who is a great friend of all of us, gets to work like with their corporate and their national headquarters and coordinating everything. But also we are working very closely with the local chapters. So we've obviously moved recently. We're working with the new chapter now in Colorado. And the people that we are working with with NAMI are just fantastic and wonderful. And we appreciate them as people. We obviously appreciate the organization. And it's...
Oh, yeah. They've done a lot of stuff that has helped us in several different ways. Obviously, like with other charities, they like to try and support us. And we're like, no, we're not taking your money. But can you move stuff for us? Or can you get us some water? That's really all we ever ask for. We do our best to make sure that we're benefiting the charity as much as possible and asking for like the bare minimum.
Yep.
But we do very much appreciate those things that they do for us. It makes it so much easier to get things up and running for sure.
I am one of the other hats that I wear is I am the logistics manager, which means that I'm in charge of figuring out the moving trucks and the getting 42 CRT televisions, among other things, to the hotel. And I can't lift all that on my own. So getting the help from NAMI to figure out whether it's local volunteers who are helping, whether they're helping to finance actual professional movers, regardless of how it works out. Just the fact that they are helping with that is such a huge relief.
Yeah,
because I remember a physical relief of my back doesn't hurt.
Oh, yeah. I remember having a conversation with one of the co-owners for Oak Spirits Game. I'm like, dude, we're old. We need help. We can't do this anymore. And he's like, yeah, you're right. Oh, it's so just a pleasure to work with them in general.
Hey, Paige, a lot of them for you.
What was?
Jump into the third donut.
Oh, I'm a little bit behind, I think.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, no, I'm not. I see it now.
Oh, so I looked away, so I don't know which world. Oh my god, I looked away and still picked the word.
You can always try and refresh vMix. It shouldn't be an issue. We're,
I did that earlier.
Okay, yeah, because we're going to the whirlpools right now.
Yep, I see it.
Okay. Sometimes there's a little bit of latency. Ideally, the call program we have avoids that, but, ideally and reality are two different things, unfortunately. I spend a lot of time
trying to make the whirlpools only have one ant in them.
No kidding there. Just a single Shogun each time is very nice, and they're dropping pick-me-ups.
Yeah, I've honestly been pretty nervous the last several fights without seeing pick-me-ups. I'm like, why do we not have recovery? I'm scared.
Sometimes they end up in really rude places.
Yeah, like they might be in factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might be in the code shop, that's right.
Yep.
Wouldn't be the first time. We rolled like a FF6 Worlds Collide seed the other day where there were no lives in stores. We're just like, where? How? What?
All right.
Sometimes randomizers have surprises like that. Let's go.
They do.
I think there's no reason for me to attempt to skill swap because, I'm not getting very much experience at this point. Well, there was a point for me to skill swap.
Skill swap is fun.
Sometimes you gamble and you lose. It's a kind of an Isaac moment right there. do I roll it with a d6 or not?
Always.
Always roll.
I'm not even
Well,
going to
it's
worry
the
about the
poop.
extra star because even though I could buy it, I'm only at 3-star pieces, so I think it's only 7 experience per kill. It might only be 5 with the stars.
I've seen this be a bit weird. Sometimes it can be super like lopsided where like you get a couple over the course of like an hour and then you just get all of them in like 30 minutes or 20 minutes and you're just like, okay, sure. Ooh, cookie.
I haven't gotten the cookie though. I haven't seen a Muku cookie yet.
Hey, it's those jump shoes you can't use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about rubbing it in.
I love
by the
going
way-
on Twitch and finding people that are playing this for the first time, and they're just about to get to Seaside Town, and I say to them, buy a Muku cookie. I won't tell you why, but you'll thank me later.
Yep.
The vague like look, buddy. Look, I'm saving you a lot of suffering in the near future.
I'm like, this isn't really a hint. This won't really do anything this won't make or break your game, but trust me on this one. You're going to want that.
Yeah.
It's literally
some
the
of-
best item in the game.
For some of my incentives, I was like going through the like extra challenges that nobody's really like messed with. So I had to go out of my way to find some videos, and there's just some people that come up with some very interesting ideas, and the community like communication like that can be very nice. Because honestly, like a fight rolling you really hard can make you hate a game, but having like one little advantage can make the game completely different.
By the way, Paige, this guy will never be Clay Morton to me. He will always be Mac.
I was
just
thinking
wanna-
about adding a flag in the randomizer to use remake names, like just optional, but I don't know if they'll all fit.
I don't think Max will.
Clay Morton fits. It has to be 12 characters or less.
Is it 12? Okay.
Randomized names. Let's go. I just want to know why we didn't skip him. What the heck is this? We can skip this guy,
I think
right?
they all fit, actually. Because even Yared's name still fits because it's 11 characters.
Yeah, true.
All right, another feature on the pile of things that have to be coded.
Oh, honestly, like most of the features are already done. It's just like right now I have to finish inserting them all into like the event builder framework, and then I just have to finish the randomization logic, which most of it is done. I just have to do the order of operations correctly.
I see.
And also there's like I ended up making a lot more space in the game for sprites graphics. When I found out that there's like a big huge chunk of the ROM that sprite graphics will try to read from, but it shares some of its space with animation data. And animation data has 3-frame pointers, so you can move it wherever the heck you want. So now we have stuff. I'm working on a feature where like you can play as Gino in the overworld because we gave him extra sprites.
Which is incredible.
All of that is done. I just haven't finished animating Mallow yet. I haven't finished importing his sprites.
My brain is just like blanking and going, so what you're telling me is Ace is possible in the randomizer.
You know, one of the reasons that we haven't found Ace yet in this game is because most of what happens, like, in this game is, there's a layer of scripting in between, like, the player and the game's memory. And when the developers were working on this game, everybody... It was basically like Square had put like all their biggest jokers onto one team, and they made SMRPG. Like everybody there was like an aficionado for like every type of comedy there is. So everyone was just coming up with an idea that was like, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we did this? And they're like, yeah, let's throw it in the game. And the scripting system made it really easy for them to do that. But it's also like pretty limiting on what you can actually access in the game's memory. So that's a big part of why we have not found Ace in this game.
Both fortunate and unfortunate. I'd say like all of that stuff is what makes the game so memorable, but it also makes it unbreakable at the same time.
SMRPG is like I'm very impressed at like how solidly it's coded, like for the time period that it came out in, and also for like what little resources the team had to work with. They were working on like past end of life PCs.
Yeah, with games of this like generation, they're usually beyond shattered at this point. If not, they have like one or two things like 4, 5, 6. Chrono Trigger, I think, even has a few.
That was Terrorize.
Pretty wild breaks. And
I think what really
that. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. That is true about a lot of games that came out of this like time period for this game's cohort. I think like one of the things that SMRPG really benefited from is that some of the primary people who were developing this, like the people who were on the project like the earliest, one of them who designed all the monsters in the game has always been a huge Nintendo fan, and he always jokes about it in interviews like, yeah, I started playing video games in high school, and that's why my grades were so bad that I had to go to a vocational school that'll accept you if you can write your name on a piece of paper. Like, he says stuff like that in interviews. And this guy was a huge Mario fan, and Yoko Shimomura has been telling in interviews about how sometimes, like, they would stay to the office, like, until midnight arguing about, like, should this be in the game? No, this isn't... Mario would never do that. Or, like, no, we should totally put that in. And that guy in particular was one of the most opinionated people about the game, and he was, like, such, like, a gamer that I feel like he probably knew what gamers were going to try to do to break the game. And there's so many things that I've seen when reverse engineering the game where they explicitly try to stop you from doing glitches that we now know about. There's a whole lot of places in the game where they are trying to not let you do skill swaps. Max skip was almost entirely prevented. So it's like, wow, like these guys really knew what they were doing. Like they were building a game that they were trying to actually play, like as from the other side, like very religiously.
I gotta say, that's very interesting because it takes a lot of foresight to think about that, because people were like doing some moderate like glitch hunting and stuff back in the around that time period, but it wasn't as like heavy as it is now or speedrun focused. There was like some pages dedicated to like glitches, but nothing to the extent of like what the speedrunners try to cook up nowadays.
Yeah, I remember a lot of those because I played SMRPG as a kid, like I believed every rumor I heard about every video game. It's like, oh yeah, take the keys to the truck in Vermilion City to get new. I mean, that sounds reasonable. That sounds easier to do than like beating Great Guy 100 times to get a star egg.
Meanwhile, missing though was so much easier to get.
Peekaboo. Yeah, I bet that's real.
I mean, I can't say that I didn't bite on some of that stuff either. There's a lot of like formative memories from like, oh, you can save Aerith? Well, yeah, speedrunners found a way to do it in like 30 years, just about 30 years later. Rebirth, what's that? I skipped that whole game. That one sucks.
So excuse me while I just hold X again.
Yeah, time to get the ASCII pad out.
Time to get starred.
I mean, it helped that director, or not director, no, this is director. That director was susceptible to sleep again. So everything went to sleep.
Everything in the factory is out here. I wonder what's in the factory. They all left their post. Good grief.
Bunches in the factory. Hammer Bros, yes. Hammer Bros specifically at Gun Yoke.
I bet Jinx 1 is at the Clown Bros.
Oh, at Cloaker Domino? Or at... Okay.
The Clown Bros that you haven't fought yet.
Yeah, I was about to say, not KGGG.
Yeah.
So...
There's 2 sets of Clown Bros.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like Bowser's Keep actually has checks, but not the factory, correct?
Correct.
For now.
For now. Oh, yeah. That's a threat.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, it's a promise.
Apparently. I mean, are you talking to the dev? It must be.
Well, now that we can manipulate any object in any room, I can make it so that the factory has checks and the trampoline doesn't show up until you have your star pieces. Or the button that you step on to go to fight Smithy.
Yeah, that feels like a max setting for sure.
I mean,
I don't want to have fun. I want to get hurt. Max.
Yeah. That'll be me in every single multi-world.
That'll be me in every single multi-world as well.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I love the like innovation of the multi-world idea in general.
Yeah.
That it has really brought together like a segment of the community in a way that has otherwise just not been possible. And now that we have this, a lot of people from different communities are hanging out a lot more and being able to communicate and be like, hey, I'm going to play this game, you play that game, and then we can just sit over here and just hang out.
Yeah, we do that like for my birthday every year. A bunch of us like will boot up a multi-world. I always play Zooter, and I make my friend Demon Smalls play Zooter with me, and we always pick like terrible settings. Because if one of us is going to suffer, we're both going to suffer. And then like everybody else in the call is like playing their own stuff, and that's how I learn about other like supported games like Yoshi's Island. I want to try that. Oh my, Donkey Kong Country 2 randomizer. How does that work? I want to try that. It's so fun.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm working.
Let me play Tunic in that because I'll throw in a YAML that has 7,000 checks in it.
Just each blade of grass. Whee!
Literally.
I am working more closely with the devs who have integrated SMRPG into Archipelago so that I can put stuff into the code base that will make it easier for them to work with. I already found out that like there's a feature that I'm adding to the next version of the randomizer that'll make like the tracker work a bit better. And that's like I'm adding a check that like it checks whether or not you have looked for a star in Star Hill. Because that is fueling a hint system. Frogfucius will tell you about stuff you've forgotten to do.
Oh yeah. Adding like hints / trackers are just so nice. Because there are just some people that are like, I don't want to open a different browser. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. That was a big owie.
That was 121 damage that I wasn't ready for because initiative.
Roll for initiative. Crit fail.
Granted, Peach is not wearing any armor, or should I say Rosalina in this case. Literally.
Why is that one Shy Guy so strong?
I don't know.
He's swole guy. What are you talking about?
Swole guy. The little green Shy Guys in Nimbus Castle just make me so happy with their goofy little animations.
The clouds!
They go up and stare at the fan, and then they get dizzy and turn away.
Oh,
what a place. Actually, this is not a terrible place to fight the clowns. Boxwood doesn't have that much HP. Yeah.
But the problem is, Peach is about to just get put wrecked floor.
About to get smacked by a rock.
At least next week.
You'll simply get to the group hug turn. It's fine.
Yeah.
This is not the Rosalina you're working for. Go to a different character.
This is not the Rosalina you are looking for.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and bust in here again to remind people that yes, RPG Limit Break is live, technically. We are not right now. This is a recording that if you're watching it on a Twitch or YouTube live stream, it's because something terrible is happening and we are working to fix that at the hotel as quickly as we can. But if you're watching this later on YouTube, hi, welcome. We're glad to have you. But RPG Limit Break is here supporting NAMI. Do you know that roughly 1 out of every 5 Americans live with a mental health condition? We here at RPG Limit Break are proud to be raising money for the National Alliance on Mental Illness, who serves as the preeminent resource for people searching for life-changing guidance, information, and support as they navigate their mental health conditions. Their website alone, which is NAMI.org, serves over 12 million unique visitors annually. And remember, these services, these helps are available for everyone, so please remember to reach out for help if you feel like you need it, because you are not alone. And if you are willing and able to donate, please visit rpglimitbreak.com/donate to put your money towards this fundraiser as we are raising money for the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
Yep. I know often it's a lot of community members go through that cycle of feeling unwell. I know I was feeling a little bit up to the event, and I was like, why am I sluggish? And I just realized I was a little bit depressed and anxious. And I'm like, but I'm happy. And it just works like that sometimes. So make sure you take care of yourself.
Oh my good lord, the lag right now.
This boss do be like that.
Yeah,
well, it's even worse because FX
SF.
Pack doesn't have the SA1 fix on it like the SD to SNES did.
Yeah, it's a bit weird that the predecessor lacks that. I'm probably gonna do him a solid and maybe swap out the cards depending, because I still have like my X2 and X3 cart on hand, so I don't necessarily need my SD to SNES. Ideally, that'll let us show some more cool SMRPG stuff in the near future.
Well, hi.
That's a
It's
dude.
my boy.
As all of our boy.
Mr.
This
Cake
is
himself.
the most upsetting sprite. I don't know why or what about it. So I never played SMRPG. I've only ever seen it in events like this, but every time I see this sprite, I just have a visceral negative reaction towards it.
I think that was
Yes.
definitely the intention. I'm fairly certain. And I agree, yes, they achieved their goal with this, where it's just kind of like, something is wrong. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it.
Wait.
I met SMRPG's director last year. We had a Zoom call, and I asked him who his favorite character was, and he said out of the playable characters, it's Gino. You know, he's a cool guy who's also really nice. But out of every character in the game, Booster is the best. And I'm like, I feel so validated right now.
So, I will admit, as a kid, did not like Booster one bit. As an adult, Booster's the man.
He really is.
Yeah. I had a turnaround like that with my niche, my micro niche game of Final Fantasy VII with like Barrett. I could not care less, did not like him. The original script did not do him any service. And in the remaster remake, the rescripting and the English voice actor turned it around. And it's always nice that... Oh, John Eric Bentley?
He's so cool.
Oh, he is. I met some of the other ones that have a case sign, and the interaction with John Eric was one of the best. I tried to get a hold of him to get him involved with the event, but unfortunately, I never was able to hear back from him. But the fact that he offered was above and beyond what I ever expected from any of them.
Yeah.
So.
He went to KupoCon in Toronto a couple of years ago, and he was like, I remember one of the things that he did was people handed him sheets of paper of stuff that they wanted him to say in Barrett's voice, and I tried to get him to read the oven tweet.
Oh my goodness.
When we were standing in line, he literally was just kind of drinking his coffee and just chatting with everybody in line. It was
so cool.
Yeah. Those are the kind of experiences that, like, I would highly suggest somebody to, like, maybe venture out a little bit further than just speedrunning events to maybe even conventions. Because cool things like that can happen. And it definitely does, make your day, at the very least, if not something that's a really cool memory to have.
For real. A lot of conventions. Like, I work at a couple of them, and, like, the guests that we get are just so cool.
Yeah.
I love, oh my goodness, Local Express.
How?
Oh, that miss!
How did it miss?
The Gen 1 miss.
Yo, he's trying to hit Demon Wall. What the heck? My man couldn't hit the broadside of a barn!
I actually really liked Barrett in the original FF7 because I remember I had him in my party when you first meet Sid. And after Sid just starts swearing up a storm and, like, leaves, and Barrett just turns to the others and goes, "What's up with that guy's attitude?"
Yeah, like, you would think the match made in heaven, and he's like, yo, why is that guy so messed up? What's his damage? And he, like, says it in a matter-of-fact voice with, like, perfect grammar or whatever, and you're just like, did somebody snatch your body? They must have rewrote you in between scenes. Bambino!
Bambino Bomb!
To get Mario!
Oh, yeah.
Mayro, let's go!
Oh, I also learned that Booster resembling Wario, total coincidence, never intentional.
Interesting.
That was never actually intentional.
I mean, I guess they kind of already had the license, so why would they just not put him in if they really wanted to?
There were some of the early proposals for SMRPG actually had like Wario as a playable character, but he didn't end up making it into the final game.
Star Pressure, I was ready for you this time. I was ready for you.
You got him.
I had your number.
So much for Swole Guy.
I guess Wario was kind of like going through it at that period where he started to end up having some Game Boy Advance games and then the Virtual Boy stuff, I think, a little bit later. Though I'm not sure how the release dates line up with this.
And he had a couple of Game Boy games at the time. Like, I know Wario Land was... That predates the Game Boy Color, which was like around the time it came out.
And then
there was also Wario's Woods.
Yes, that's true. I know that Mario Land 2 came out long before the game was even a thought on anyone's.
Yeah.
I love that game. That's my favorite Mario, unironically.
I've still got my Japanese cartridge that I bought for it.
Ooh, that's cool. That game is a really fun speedrun.
I'm going to be honest. There is so many games that I ended up buying because a speedrunner made it look so cool. And then I was like, you know, I'm going to make this a prize instead. Like, I think it was a Custom Robo was one of them.
Custom Robo is such a cool game, though.
Yeah, there was a lot of, like, PJ games where I'm like, okay, well... And then I'm like, you know, I'm never going to play this. Let's just make it a prize so somebody else can enjoy it.
You know what? We're not taking the other route.
Free level, let's go!
Normally I would take the lower route, but... Doors, they exist.
Okay. We made it. Somehow.
Nope. That box is so weird because you have to hit it on the lowest point of its oscillation.
Yeah, at least it's...
Yeah.
I've seen more cursed boxes, but I wonder where I've seen them. Is this even?
Jinx!
Wow.
Dang it, now I'm the one buying the cola. At least this is, like, in the right area.
No kidding there. Actually, we're going to do this. Do not say you have a jump weakness. Okay. Well, jump weakness and jump immunity at the same time. I would be so mad.
Yeah, doesn't like every boss had that so far?
Yeah. And now I can actually use super jump.
Oh, are you sure you want to use it on this fight?
Well, he's committed now. Got to appreciate how he can be like, no, never mind. We're doing the super jumps while doing the super jumps.
Yep. Sure, that works.
No.
Hey, Paige, you're still cutting out a little bit. Can you refresh real quick?
I think Discord's having
issues.
Unfortunately, it's coming over on the vMix as well, which means that it's in the recording too. Oh well. And yes, for those who with a keen ear, I did just say recording because this is technically, if you are watching it on Twitch or YouTube, this is a pre-record. Or on YouTube live stream, I guess. This is a pre-record because something has happened at the hotel that we're working on. We'll get back to that as soon as we can. We might even be interrupting ourselves to do it. But in the meantime, we still wanted to keep the stream live. We wanted to keep the content flowing because we are RPG Limit Break 2025 supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and the best way to support, or for us to continue that support, is to keep you all engaged and donating. So we're here supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness. They are the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization whose work is focused around three main pillars: education and support, awareness, and advocacy. But what does that look like in person? Well, their education and support pillar is via their 48 state offices and nearly 700 affiliates. NAMI offers a host of signature programs, presentations, and support groups that are available free of charge. This includes the National Helpline that can provide information, resources, and a compassionate understanding and trained volunteers to support anyone who calls them. The helpline is available Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time via phone call, text, and live web chat. To reach the NAMI helpline, please call 1-800-950-6264 or visit nami.org/help to access all the NAMI helpline resources and contact information. If this sounds like something that you would like to donate to, please do. We really strongly believe in the work that NAMI does, which is why they have been our charity partner for so many years here at RPG Limit Break. And please visit our website, that's rpglimitbreak.com/donate, to put forward your money to help out this fantastic organization.
Golly gee, at this point, I hope this is no longer on our live stream. We'd be all having a very big panic picnic.
We have had multi-hour outages, and they are so sad. But
yeah,
I completely screwed up Minecart during all of that because like I had to figure out which button I hit at some point or which lever I flicked to just have the horn going off every other frame. Which, by the way,
I love how he loses time to trolling. There we go. Of course.
Literally horn every other frame.
And I guess go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say what I was trying to say about Punchinello earlier is that if you get 100 super jumps on him, it doesn't count. Like, the dog won't give you the prize.
What?
Because,
what?
Yeah.
Multi-phase.
And it's because there's like two different kinds of scripts that can run in battles. One of them is Monster AI, and the other is like animation for special events, like when Kulex starts talking to you and summoning his crystals and all that stuff. One of those events is Punchinello doing his like gigantic bomb scene. And because that animation like aborts the fight entirely, you don't get anything. You don't get any EXP, you don't get any coins. The number of jumps that you've used to power up Mario's jump move don't get stored, and your super jumps also don't get stored.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the jumps like powering up based on use is super cool. But
I only discovered that because I was trying to make low-level save files, and I couldn't figure out why my jump count was lower than it should have been.
Oh.
And it was because of Punchinello. So I found that, and I went and I told the Mario RPG IRC, guys, we have a good choice for reasons to never ever use jump attacks on Punchinello now.
Yeah.
Which I will admit, I did not know that it was because of the end cutscene. I thought it was because of the fact that it went through multiple cutscenes. Also,
Well, there are some.
Which one I'm on?
There are some enemies that will like abort the battle, but not as part of a cutscene. Like Jink will run a command called exit battle, and like that, your super jumps do get stored when that happens. But if it happens like as part of an animation, like battle event animations are built basically like on duct tape and popsicle sticks.
Sounds right.
So it's like that's just why that happens. It's the only fight in the game that does that. But we don't run that cutscene in Randomizer, so I think that it doesn't happen in Rando. You actually do get what you're supposed to get from him.
Don't mind me, I'm just making music.
Somebody's gotta.
I am so stoked for this to actually be randomized. Also, I know he's not here, but if you have never made it through Tadpole Pond and gotten all 3 of the cards, there's your last sequence.
Hot tips. The Tadpole Pond randomizer is going to be cool because I built like this web app where people can compose Tadpole Pond music and submit it to the randomizer. I came up with a system that like, because like the Tadpole notes are always evenly spaced out. I came up with a way to make it not like that. So, for example, like I think I composed I think I did the what's that song in Majora that makes a statue of you?
Elegy of Emptiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I composed that one is like that's how I developed it. Was I tried to make that song and then I turned it into like a web app that you can just like make songs with.
So how is that going to work? Where you just like you tell them what song you want, or you actually can just put in whatever as long as it makes a song, it counts.
So what has to happen is if you're gonna submit a tune that you want to be a tadpole pond option, you also have to submit hints for it. Because the tadpole that's outside of the Melody Bay area gives you a hint for each of the different tunes. So we need to be able to incorporate those into the game, because otherwise, like the players are doing like complete guesswork.
So something like Song of Storms would like be like a storm that brings fury or something like that, I guess, right?
Yeah, it can be like whatever the person wants, like a hint to be. They can submit it with that. But if you want the song to be like only 6 or 7 notes, like you can do that. But it's just like an option. You check it, and it'll be like the tadpole pond tunes will be randomized, and you don't know which ones you're going to get.
I see. Okay, that makes sense as long as there's a hint for it. I guess the only thing is you have to look up the table, so you can be like, all right, well, how does the Song of Storms go in Super Mario RPG?
There's also like the little scroll behind Frogfucius on the island that tells you the first song. Like that one also will reflect whatever your first song is, that kind of stuff.
Do.
It's Johnny.
These are becoming real statues also. This will be a gold-plated Johnny in the next release.
Thank goodness. I would say it breaks my immersion for this segment, but it really doesn't, because I also get to know what the boss is at the end, so I'm just like, okay, this is fine. And since this is Johnny, it's not that bad.
Yeah, hints like this are nice.
This was also one of the worst things to code. I did most of the sprite swapping code for bosses, and oh my god, there are so many that you have to like position correctly in Nimbus Land with all the statues. Now imagine having a scarecrow that you gotta do that with. That's not fun.
Actually,
we had a couple of artists make gold palettes for every boss.
Do you think he'll be susceptible to sleep again this time?
I hope so.
Probably, but I don't have Rosalina in the party.
True.
Yeah, we picked up Mario, so we threw him in there. Rosalina was... I don't think we had anything for Rosalina in terms of...
No, we really didn't. And on top of that, Mario's got the attack scarf equipped already.
Ooh. Love that for him.
Sure, I guess we'll Star Egg. I could throw the Sleepy Bomb and see if he is susceptible, but he's probably not long for this world.
It's fine, we just need to get the sleepy item or whatever it is.
Sleepy Sheep?
Mm-hmm.
And that's only in Paper Mario?
Oh yeah, that's right. You can tell how hardcore of SM.
I mean, to be fair, I could grab the Sheep Attacker, the Lamb's Lure.
That's what I'm thinking of. There's so many like use items that I never used casually that like I'm just confused as to what they do.
So I know where the rest of the key items are in the seed.
Nice.
Ooh, got that. Because there are only 3 key item locations left for me to check.
We have
the guard here that absolutely will have Castle Key 1. I did not jump over. Oh, I did not jump over.
I guess you got forked. Rough.
On top of that, I have less speed than both of the shamans, which is even more rough. So that is guaranteed Castle Key 1. Now, as for my Soprano card as well as my Bright card. Those I'm not sure about. Also, Shaman, get out of my way. Por favor. Bye, Gino. It's not entirely what I wanted, but it's what happened. Oh! I hit up and it went no.
Heavy Trooper is ready to launch.
Okay.
Can't remember. Was that Countdown's favorite thing or Used Pizza's favorite thing?
Yes.
It was Used Pizza.
Yes. I think it was DP. I think he's the one that had the emote, right?
Yeah. DP had the emote.
DP's a funny guy.
Indeed.
Amazing person.
Yeah, he's really cool.
Okay.
I got to do a low-level race with him and the others for Momam one time, and that was a hoot.
Oh, I bet that was just incredible.
I remember seeing some of them doing low level, and it had to have been so long ago, but I was just like, who in their right mind would even consider to do such a thing?
You know, I always say that, like, Bep has the world record in low level now, and he got interested in it when he saw me reroute the category, and he started playing it, and I noticed that, like, in our secret group chat, where it's just me, him, and Big Fong Balls, he was asking me a whole bunch of questions about low-level strats. I'm like, wait a second, why are you asking me this? And then he starts running it, and then he plays it every freaking day, and I keep saying stuff like, I ruined that man's life. I ruined his life. I'm submitting low-level to a marathon in September, but it's, like, rigged so that you always win the gamble. So that it has like a real estimate, just because like the strategies in low level are actually really interesting. It's just the category name.
Oh
It's
yeah, that's right.
so
'Cause you have to do the lucky mini game and lose every time, so you don't get EXP.
Yeah,
Yep.
but the Smithy
So
fight in low level is the single hardest thing I have ever done in SMRPG. Like that is extremely hard to do. It's like. People nowadays say that, oh, this game is too easy, it needs a hard mode. If you want a hard mode, do low level and go fight Smithy. Like, you have to be thinking 4 turns ahead in that fight. Like, it adds all the challenge that, like, you don't normally have playing SMRPG because you just have too many options. You don't have any very many options at all against Smithy, and you gotta be thinking, like, on your feet at all times. It's so much fun, and it always gets my blood pumping.
I've always been a big proponent of like the game doesn't necessarily itself have to be hard. If there is like a hard mode that hits your thing, that's fine. But you can always make your own rules with the challenge run and stuff like that. Restrict things. I found a lot of joy doing that with some of the VR fights, setting up just arbitrary restrictions to showcase. It's always one of the best parts of actually doing a marathon is just setting up scenarios where I'm like, I'm just going to arbitrarily restrict this thing and figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, guys, donate. Trust me.
Birdies, please.
Yeah, that's actually how I got into speedrunning. In 2015 or so, I was streaming a playthrough of SMRPG where I went through the whole game without doing any unnecessary battles or level ups and without using any equipment. And I think I was like near the end of the game, and known speedrunner and god tier Smash player Milnium shows up in my chat, and he's like, "What the heck is this?"
Big Mill.
And so we started talking about it, and then I recognized him. I'm like, "Oh, you race Pi like on his stream sometimes, don't you?" So we started talking more often, and a couple times he brought up like, "Have you ever thought about learning to speedrun?" I'm like, are you kidding, man? I'd never be good at that. And then eventually he convinced me, and I said, okay, man, New Year's 2016, that's my resolution. I'll do the speedrun one time and finish it. And then I met Sean.
I was about to say, little did you know.
Little did I know. Little did I know.
Honestly, outside of like very niche games, speedrunning is like a good way to kind of get into a community and talk with other people, and usually it's people that enjoy the same game too, so you at least have a shared interest. The bigger the community is like this, obviously, but...
Yeah, I find that that was I started like hanging out with SMRPG speedrunners before I ever like had an interest in doing it myself, just because like, oh, here's other fans of this game that I like. And I find nowadays that like Randomizer is so good for that too, because even people that like don't really have the interest to like sit there and speedrun a game like will still play a rando like casually, and it'll still give them like lots of enjoyment. So it's like, oh, there's more of a chance that will happen upon your stream while you're doing an SMRPG rando seed now than I ever would have if that didn't exist.
Yeah. I have a friend that refers to him as speedrun crack, and there is a good reason for it, but like it's a very nice speedrun adjacent thing where you don't have to be like, okay, well, if I don't get to, the theater in an hour and a half, or like I don't get to, Kefkat Narsh within 90 minutes, I'm going to start the game over. You can just be like, all right, well, we made it through, friggin' Poltergeist showing up at Kefkat Narsh, on to the next thing, and you don't have to reset. So it offers a lot more flexibility and difference between the two. It's a nice adjacent.
Absolutely. And I find that like a lot of the earlier randomizers especially were developed by speedrunners for other speedrunners. So it's got like so many ways that you can utilize stuff that in a speedrun, like just to do something cool in the randomizer, like glitch logic and OOT. But you don't like have to be a speedrunner to be able to complete it.
Or even glitch logic and LTTP. Because
I like that
there are actually some tricks in glitch logic that you do not need to be a speedrunner to know how to do.
Yeah, some of them are fairly like beginner friendly or fairly easy to take a few attempts at and be done with.
My boyfriend was one of the earliest testers for ALTTP Rando. His name used to be in the credits because he is a big glitched ALTTP OG guy.
Okay, we finally have the bright card.
Bright card! Woo!
Sorry, what
pass.
were you just walking on?
Nothing.
Don't worry about it.
I'm walking on sunshine, buddy.
Yeah, there's some secrets in this game that are fairly obtuse.
I found that when I was a kid because I was stupid and liked running into walls.
Same, actually.
Why would I bother holding one direction when I can just let the wall take me the right way? I'll get there eventually as long as I hug the walls.
And secrets like that is why I believed every single rumor about every game I played after it. It's like, well, SMRPG taught me that anything is reasonable.
So since we're kind of talking about like randomizers and stuff, it makes me want to ask, what is it that made you want to start working with the dev team or like starting up the development for the randomizer for this?
Oh, it was a couple of things. So I started teaching myself to code when I was 13, and I've been doing it professionally for about 10 years also. It's been just something I love doing for most of my life. And I didn't really know very much about like randomization algorithms because like I don't actually have an education in computer science, so anything that's like theory more than execution is just like beyond me. So we had another dev in the community, Dorkmaster Fleck, who's a really good friend of mine. He made the base code for the randomizer, like he made the web app version of it and like coded all the logic for it. And he worked very closely with Alanim, who did like the whole ROM hacking side. So Alanim kind of figured out like what was possible, and then Fleck wrote the code for it. And then Andy started playing it on stream, and then all of a sudden we had like 1 million people in the Discord playing it, reporting bugs, requesting stuff. And there were only 2 guys working on it, and they were overworked.
Overwhelmed,
So I was like, what? I don't know anything about Python. I don't really know anything about rando algorithms, but like, I bet I could help with some of this stuff. So that's what I did. I just cloned the code base, had a look at it. I'm like, oh, there are some things in here that I think I could help with, and I've just been doing that ever since.
Out of necessity. It's that kind of stuff that I love seeing with the speedrunning community, where it's like, well, I didn't have to do it, but I decided I wanted to.
I got an even better version of that, actually. I was in, so since this file is named after Void, this is kind of relevant. I was in Void's Discord, I think it was, in a voice call with 2 other guys that I'm friends with in his community. And I don't remember what we were talking about, but one of them started talking about Pokemon Randomizer. And he said, I wonder if I could run Vietnamese Crystal through Pokemon Randomizer. And the randomizer, like UPR, like the executable, actually crashed when he tried to do it. And I said, wait, and he said that, and I didn't see his screen, but I said, hold on, let's see our message that you got. And he showed it to me, and I was silent for like 5 seconds and went, I bet I could fix that.
Oh no!
About a week
the greatest
later,
crime ever committed.
About a week later, my name is in the change log for Pokemon Randomizer.
Added compatibility with Vietnamese Crystal.
It was crashing because it was trying to write a randomizer like spoiler log for which attacks were on which Pokemon, and there was no error case to handle an attack that had an empty name.
Oh my goodness.
So we got it to run, and then the next problem was that anytime you caught a Pokemon, the game would crash. So I looked into the code for like how Japanese Crystal is getting shuffled, and I compared like the Japanese ROM against the Vietnamese Crystal ROM, and I noticed there's like a big chunk of code that was moved from one part of the ROM to the other in Vietnamese Crystal. I'm like, I don't know why that's there, but I know the randomizer's overwriting it because it doesn't expect anything to be there. So I truncated that table because it doesn't have to be as long as it is anyway, and then it started working. And I showed this to people that I work with, and they thought it was really cool. So it was like that, the things not having a proper name and taking items out of the pool that when you pick them up will crash your game. So now you can just play Vietnamese Crystal randomized.
That's just amazing.
I mean, the better question is, like, why would you be playing it in the first place? But I guess the randomizer might make it worth playing.
I have every intention on making it archipelago compatible, because it's going to be really funny when you send somebody an item, and it's like, found basement heroes poll, and it's like, which one? There are 22 items with that name.
Oh, my.
I'm laughing too hard.
Sorry, I'm ruining the playthrough.
No,
it's the commentator's curse. Let's go.
It doesn't help that this is another area that lags because of FX, or because FX packs stocks.
Oh,
I mean, you could just kill the enemies and that would help with the lag. Do some Mega Man Xing in here.
I mean, I'm gonna have to at this point.
Lag management.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, actually,
please, no Zardragon at Zardragon, please.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. What's here? What's here? What's here?
I don't know. It looks very Zari right now.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Hi, man.
I gotta love how the sprites are just kind of in goofy positions too. Just kind of like offset or down to the right for no particular reason.
All right, 3,341 HP.
It's like, hold on, I got here late. Wait, can we start now?
All right, as you're working through that,
like fight Boomer again without thinking about drill tweets.
Oh my gosh, no kidding there.
Lloyd just looks at me like, did you really just make a drill reference during my speedrun?
Sorry, I can't be stopped. Not even by the runner himself.
It's like, buddy, you knew what you were getting into when you told me I could commentate. Like,
oh yeah, I knew exactly what I was getting into.
That's why we have wheels on the chairs, so we can roll you off stage.
I'm still gonna look over at the camera and be like, you made the drill reference.
All And as you continue to work through his health pool, I want to remind everybody that this is RPG Limit Break 2025. We've been going for almost 2 hours, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you are watching this on Twitch or a YouTube live stream, something has gone terribly wrong. And if it's been going wrong for 2 hours, pray for us. But even though the hotel event might be experiencing some issues, we are still here. We are still providing what entertainment we can, because RPG Limit Break 2025 is proud to support the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and so we want to keep the stream going, keep you all engaged to help with that. Who are we? Well, we got obviously our runner, Sawney. We've got Pidge. We've got the Sid. Myself, I'm Ashen, and we are all actually part of the content team here at RPG Limit Break. We have a lot of fun coming up with ideas and things that we think will entertain you. But we're one part of the group, one small part of the group that makes this whole thing happen. We also want to shout out some incredible artists. We have Oro, who worked on all the overlays to put together all the layouts that you will be seeing this week. And of course, we're incredibly grateful to LLK, the longtime contributor to our marathons and GDQ marathons. They're the designer of our logo, promo banners, attendee badges, and a lot of the emotes. So please go check them both out on the interwebs. I'm going to be honest, the blurbs that I have in front of me have not been updated yet, so I don't know their current socials. So I'm going to say Google them and find their information online and give them our big thanks for their support of us and, of course, of the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Please go to our website, rpglimitbreak.com/donate, to give what you can to NAMI. 100% of those donations go directly to the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
If we're still in technical difficulties right now, right? I am super glad that I convinced the committee to add in the save points, because they will literally save us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. Like, if we are still in technical difficulties right now, then you as a viewer need to go to the website to look at the current schedule, because it's going to be all sorts of messed up. It's just going to be clear out of whack for a while, so...
Yeah. Hopefully we never, from previous years, it was mainly through the hotel, but ideally we never run into that again. But, things go as they go. So we added in the save points this year to helpfully buffer if things do happen like that again. And if it happens again, then we'll probably add a few more.
Star Dragon, please stop dodging.
Oh, he is sawing things up right now.
Stop dodging.
The French vanilla Zar Dragon is condescending me.
Sorry, what?
Oh my gosh!
Stop. Dude has 1,000 evade. Yo, is this FF6? Does he have like max M block or M evade? What is happening right now?
I don't know.
Bro put on the force armor and the force shield. What is this?
Holy moly,
bro!
I might have to, I don't know, pop Star Egg at this point.
It is always there,
and it's guaranteed to hit.
We're just, I love how we're pressed into service so hard that you're like, all right, fine. I guess we're just doing it 100 at a time. I give up.
Well,
I give up, you win.
On top of that, I need to get rid of the orbs, so.
Fringe benefit.
Yeah.
The orbs, magic damage, so you can't block them, right?
Yep.
Or.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I guess it.
Because, I've always tried blocking them and never could figure out a timing. And
yeah, for somebody
going to bring more orbs back up, which means I'm going to Star Egg.
Yeah, for people a little bit less knowledgeable about this game, with the physical attacks, there is like a block timing where you can reduce the damage or fully block it. But Magic does not have that capability, so you can't block magic attacks. You're just kind of like, well, hope you have enough block and or HP, or you're gonna die.
Unless we're playing Armageddon, in which case then you can block magic attacks that are not party-wide.
That game has some very innovative features to iterate on this game. That is for sure.
Well, we're going to continue throwing out Star Eggs until morale improves.
So,
can I offer you
until we get to Zombone?
Can I offer you a Star Egg in this trying time?
I mean, 2 hours in, this would be our morale on site right about now. Like, oh no, why? We went out of our way to avoid this.
Oh my goodness.
So I will say that if you are just watching this after the fact on YouTube and it never showed up on the live stream, then we are very happy. Like, everything has gone perfectly and wonderfully well.
I am really hoping that what I said at the beginning is option 2. I want this to stay hidden, and it is like the Sunday after the event, and they're like, what's this mysterious video that showed up on YouTube?
No kidding there.
A present.
Yes! We're on to Zombone! Finally!
All right, let's see if he has 155 evade, or whatever the max in this game is. No. Good. Okay, I'm glad we've gone all Geno here.
Well,
we have full committed to Geno. We are all Geno. Everything is... No! You've ruined the illusion! Dang you, Zombone!
Zombone's good at that. Let's psychopath and see what you are weak to.
Give me knowledge!
Fire and ice.
That feel when you want Ultra Orb.
Ultra Flame?
Yeah. My brain like got halfway to both of them, and I'm like, they'll correct me eventually. It's fine.
One of us will.
I can be wrong. I hope.
Actually, if I Ultra Flame, then I run into the problem of not being able to do anything with Bowser, so... Or not Ultra Flame, if I Snowy.
Snowy. You do have a pretty tight coverage on the magic front with this team. Unfortunately, no Geno boost.
What's Geno boost?
Yet. Yeah.
I can get Yoshi aids.
That's... Yeah, I was actually going to point that out earlier, that we've been snagging up frog coins the entire time, but we haven't spent any of them.
Yep. I have
my first couple of times. Yeah, my first couple of times watching it, I was like, huh? But once I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Oh my... Okay, all 3 of the remaining star pieces are in Bowser's Keep.
He had a red star. I got scammed, dude. I demand a refund.
No.
Bring me to your manager.
No refund. Only Zool.
Wait, the manager's gonna call Pidge?
Don't look at, don't look at me.
I did nothing wrong. He's the one that rolled the seed, not me. It's just the program doing what it's supposed to.
I mean, to be fair, I told Pidge the flags. Pidge, you rolled the seed. So this is absolutely a joint effort for how terrible this seed is.
I mean, honestly, I had Pidge roll the seed because I was afraid you'd roll a worse one.
No.
Which,
if I had rolled the seed, I would be fighting, probably Culex and Exor.
Yeah. Your seeds are either feast or famine, no in between.
I mean, my seeds, any rando I've been playing as of late, have been god awful.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of famines recently. I'm about to die of hunger, honestly, if I could play co-op. Playing co-op with him is just, it's gonna be the end of me.
Hey, rock candies. I don't care about them.
Rock candy.
Candy?
I've got a star and I know how to use it. Who needs rock candy?
Exactly. Pidge, pick a number.
6.
6 it is. Okay, we're doing barrels.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm adding a feature to this that lets you zero out the timer.
Oh, these are like static, right? There's no way to randomize this?
Oh, they're already random.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the number of barrels that you get are random within a certain range, but I'm adding a way, like, if you're like, okay, I'm done counting, I don't need to wait another 12 seconds, you can just, like, press A, and it'll take you to the end.
For the second one.
basically, if you recognize the pattern, you can be like, all right, I'm not wasting another 10 seconds here.
Yeah.
Nice. I'd need all 20 here.
45.
Counting's hard.
I win.
Yeah, that is 45.
I'm just sitting here like, well, that's the first time I've done that. Oh, I wasn't ready for this room.
Lamers. I've seen this room troll him a bit in
Arma, where
Arma.
the platforms are so much faster.
Oh,
Dude,
I
the-
bet.
Understatement of the year. Those platforms are schmoovin'.
Also, I take the very much not optimal route. Sid,
I think 3.
Take the speedrunner route.
Well, we're getting some oh, jinxie poo.
I like how Mario blends in with the carpet.
I know, right?
I gotta say that the sprites are fantastic, especially the palette swaps too.
Yeah, we got some really talented people working on there's some like palette swaps that are just really well done.
I'm so excited for the upcoming sprite work.
It's such an 3 Genos in a dream, I see. But yeah, it's one of those understated things how much like just those aesthetic changes can make every run feel a little bit fresh instead of the same.
Yeah. There's a peach palette swap that's Emeralda from Xenogears, and I made that one as a birthday present for Sean while he was visiting me for his 30th birthday? No, his 32nd birthday. He was in Toronto that week, and I just let him play In Progress Seed that I hadn't released yet, and it had Emeralda and Treasure Chest Shuffling in it.
Ooh. Guess it pays to know a dev.
Yeah, he's gonna have a nice fun time playing V9 when it's in development and I have it compiling properly.
Yeah,
Imagine living in the same house as a dev for a randomizer that you like.
Right?
I mean, I guess it depends on how you want to look at it, but you're either getting punished or rewarded.
Uh-oh. He's
He
confused.
and I, we theory craft about randomizers a lot. Like, we'll be just like driving to my mom's house, and the whole time we're driving up, we'll just be brainstorming ideas for randomizers for games that we like. And I'm like, I gotta write all this down.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a FF3J randomizer.
Ooh, that would be fun.
NES.
FAMI, NES, Pixel Remaster.
Just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page because you know the FF3 shenanigans.
Yep.
Got to make sure my tiny little brain
Well,
wrapped
that's
itself
why I said
around the
FF3J.
J. Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, there's plenty of FF3J versions as well too, but I know what you mean. I'm being pedantic because that's just my skill set. I remember
I
like
dig
a
it.
lot of my exposure to FF3J is actually through Duckfist and doing runs of it. The fact that you can just cancel out your step count by just using potions blows my mind with that game.
I mean, you can do the same thing in FF2J.
FF2J has other problems. I don't think the step count is the bigger issue. Is it?
The step count actually is the bigger issue in the Famicom version, but
Oh.
that's something for a different time.
I mean, this is one of the things I wish to showcase. A lot of these more niche things that like only one or two people do, because I think it's really fantastic to see kind of the wild interactions that you can get in these less run or less played things. You know, like FF2J, FF3J are very weird compared to their modern counterparts and have some very interesting interactions.
I wasn't expecting Gino to actually deal damage.
Hey, speaking of Sag. That was the lucky we were talking about earlier that you need for the low EXP run. So that may have been coins instead of EXP.
It was
I wasn't really
coins.
paying attention. Well, I guess I was paying just enough attention.
You were paying
But yeah,
the minimal amount of attention.
I've been here for 2 hours and 10 minutes, man. I'm trying.
Hey, so have I.
Me too.
Pidge, so have you.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah. That I have.
There we go.
Though that's definitely text being drawn. Not legible, but it's text.
Okay, I was not expecting to get the block on the side wall laughing.
Yeah, some of the things that you can actually block in this game have some very funky timing. So
Uh-oh.
actually blocking them is pretty difficult.
Uh-oh. Bowser's just
All right, start up.
Uh-oh.
Aren't you supposed to be able to scare these guys off with Bowser, or is it only minions?
It's only certain minions.
It's the Goo Goombas and then the
Terracottas.
paratroopers that I can't... Yeah.
I know I've seen some of the enemies run, but I didn't know if that got randomized or if it was just specific enemies that do that.
I could randomize that. Let me write that
What have I
down.
done?
Hey, I'm okay with that. I'm just having fun throwing
I think,
star eggs.
I think I actually am going to put that in my to-do list.
I mean, honestly, a lot of like the ideas or like figuring out things with HSG is like he's driving somewhere and I'm like, all right, let's just hang out so you don't fall asleep driving. And then next thing I know, it's like, all right, so how are we going to set up interview area this year? How are we going to set up the stage this year? What are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about sponsors? A lot of personal calls turn into work. And honestly, I couldn't be happier that I can spend my personal time working on this event.
Holy
That's
That
awesome.
is a bomb. Yeah. I'm very lucky that I got involved with the event that I did. Honestly, I'm extremely happy that I can help run it in the way it is. And I guess, we've got Ashen back there, making sure all this works while still doing hosting duties.
And probably laughing at the whole me listening to you on which door to go through.
This one does
And then
seem
we
to
got the
have been
expanded
a long path.
Go ahead.
Oh, this one's been a dud.
Yeah, the fight paths are not where you want to be. It's all randomized, though. I think it's fixed in vanilla, though, so there's only certain doors you go down.
Yeah, but you can also manipulate it. By the way, 0 damage and they still end up just popping.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was always the weird thing with those. Certain
man.
attacks will just insta-kill them.
Now that I think about it, like randomizing which enemies get scared by Bowser has the potential to be very funny. I'm putting that in my notebook.
Oh, yeah.
It could definitely make the fighting hallways theoretically faster depending on what runs.
Well, what if it wasn't just in the hallways?
See, that's where I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't actually know what
guess-
causes that, but I bet it's not that hard to find in the code.
I think it's an event script.
As you were
More
talking about
your
it earlier,
mind
it's
than
like
mine.
there were only 2 enemy types that run from Bowser. So I guess the next question is, would you keep it as only 2 enemy types, just 2 random enemy types? Or would you allow it to be more like, 7 or 8 enemy types that all run from Bowser?
A min-max setting.
I'll think about that.
0 to 10 or something like that.
Hi, Chester.
I think it might be funny if like one of the enemy types that could get scared is just like mimics. So you just get into a boss fight with a treasure chest and it just runs away from you.
That would have been hilarious if, like, the chest we ran into Krulix and he just ran away, and you're like, I'm not going to complain at all.
Everyone in this
I
game
am
who looks
down
like
with this.
Oh, no, Sandstorm.
Okay, every character in this game that looks like a summon that took a wrong turn at the Fame March, you are scared of Bowser.
I am a multi-dimensional, two-dimensional being that harbors the power of all elements. Oh my god, is that a giant turtle? I'm out of here.
This world is too weird for me. I'm out of here.
Yeah, right.
Why is there a doll that has been brought to life standing in front of me? I'm out.
And why are there 3 exact copies of it?
This world is somehow weirder than mine.
How does that even work?
Or does it become some
Perpetrating evil on...
like Doug Bowser, and you can't fight the CEO of the company, right?
Like that.
No, he would just raise the cost of everything in the shops by times 2. Oh, it's Doug Bowser. Everything costs twice as much now. Have fun. Topical
So
humor.
I know this is either Jinx 1 or Jinx 2. Okay, it's 1.
Easy peasy. My man with the mega cowlick.
I mean, this fight's so hard.
Yeah. That move right there, it kind of surprises me, is like blockable. It seems like it would be some kind of magic thing.
No, it's completely physical.
Yeah, every Jinx attack is blockable, so I like to say, hey, technically Jinx is a free fight. You can't have him not damage you.
It's just a tough free fight.
It's
the no-hit run is saved!
Ooh, star!
Well,
yo, progression!
I know that
Yeah.
all 3 of these spots are stars.
Rough. Absolutely brutal.
But I also
Let's
have
see.
like no weapon for Gino, which is a bit of a problem. There's the goodie bag.
Just buy a goodie bag. That'll be great for the Smithy fight.
The most cursed vetted seed.
I got a word for sinus after this.
I've got a few words
Well,
to sign this after this.
It was vetted. We didn't say it was good.
This is amazing.
This is definitely like a good exhibition of a rando, because sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I blister through it in 45 minutes, and then other times you're just like, I guess I'm 100%ing the game.
Me every time I play cheat rando. Oh, what a spot for this. I don't know if I've ever seen Bunt here.
I always store my cake, my sentient violent cakes on top of my chandelier. I don't know what you're talking about.
But
this is why I don't have chandeliers. Yeah, this is why I don't own chandeliers in my house.
This is all the kitchen renovation.
The looming threat of my baked cakes falling on my head is too terrifying.
Bunt, old buddy, old pal, how did you manage this? Why have you betrayed me?
I don't know, man. Tort's got some superhuman strength.
True. Nice. I could barely see that, and I still got the perfect block on it.
Yeah, some of these sprites are a little bit cursed to like actually parse depending on where you are. All right, we're almost done.
Gino.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, we should still have 2 hits. Wait, you have to do 3 or 2 here?
3.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because you have to do 1 after all the candles are out.
Okay, blue should be fine.
Nice miss.
That's bad.
Oh dear.
Oh. Well, I mean, we gotta pick me
No,
up.
we don't.
No.
We're wiping, but I saved before. Actually.
Oh yeah, I didn't make it so that his candles don't light up if you only have one person left. Only if you only have one person in the party.
Yep.
Right. I remember.
There we go.
That was a fun case to crack.
So I just have to go through the Jinx fight again, which really isn't that bad, but definitely is unfortunate.
Well, I mean, honestly, I was getting ready to turn coal dust into diamonds there. I thought you hadn't saved in a little bit longer than that.
Nope. I made sure to save.
Smart. Marathon safety.
Yeah. And as we have a chance to go
marathon safety.
As we have a chance to look through
That
these
bird has
fights
got to be
again.
like so swole.
Oh yeah, sure.
I am going to take this moment to give some more shout-outs to our community and artists. We LLK, who we've talked about before, but also Mega Weasel and its Casa. They are responsible for designing several of the emotes, which you can access by subscribing to the RPG Limit Break channel here on Twitch. All revenue from subscriptions, bits, the ads we run on YouTube, super thanks and things like that, those contribute to funding the marathon. Your support in this regard is critical in helping us put on these wonderful events year after year. But why do we want to put on the event? Well, because we are here to support NAMI. NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, was formed in 1979 as a grassroots advocacy organization by a group of parents whose children suffered with serious mental illnesses. And they have maintained that focus to this day. They provide education and support, awareness, and advocacy nationwide through local chapters and engaging federal advocacy and supporting state organizations in their state-level advocacy efforts. If you would like to donate to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, please visit our website, rpglimitbreak.com/donate. There you will also have the option to put your donations towards different incentives, as well as possibly enter to win some of our fabulous prizes that are available. Please donate. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here doing. Technically, we're here to fill some time just in case there's some problems with the event at the hotel. So, technically we're not live right now as we record this, but if you're watching this on Twitch or a YouTube live stream, then yes, the marathon is live. Please head over and donate.
And don't worry.
We're not live right now. I am having an existential crisis at the moment. What is real life? Is this just a fantasy?
Okay, so this time around, I'm actually being smart. I bought crystallines so that way I can get the full party defense up.
Well, I mean, this is one of the things with like Rando too. Whenever you go into a boss spot, you really don't know what you're going to run into. So this is kind of the weird part about it. There's a certain amount of like pre-prep, and sometimes when you bounce off a boss, it's as easy as like, all right, I'm just going to buy an item. Then sometimes you're just like, I'm just going to go somewhere else because this stinks.
But this is one of those cases that I can't go anywhere else because this is the only place I have to go.
Yeah. Fortunately, we had a shop right next to it, so we could get a little bit of a buff going without having to worry too hard. Honestly, like, Cake is one of those that's like deceptively simple. Because you're like, oh, you just have to hit it 3 times, and then you get rid of some of the candles, and, continue until dead. But if you lose 2 characters and don't have revives, it do be like that some days.
But in this case, I'm getting better moves coming out.
Dude, if these all miss... Okay. I was gonna say, if like all these blizzards miss after using the crystalline, I'm gonna have to laugh a bit. That's so ridiculous.
If you think the bunt fight is bad normally, try doing it in the Beat Kulak speedrun.
I mean...
You don't get a red essence.
Low level. It sucks there too.
Do you use the red essence in low level?
Yeah, I guess like the misconception is this game has like the energizers and red essences and stuff, so it's like, oh yeah, everything's just trivial, right? You can just make yourself invincible for 3 turns. It's like, theoretically, yes.
Like
where does it come?
Theoretically,
in
it
practice.
Works. But at the same time, you have to keep in mind the freebie chances on a red essence are, what, 1 in 8 if I remember correctly?
I mean, that sounds right.
Yeah, I think it's 12.5%.
12.5.
12.15. Yep. I guess we never really addressed that. For those that may not be super familiar with this, there is a chance whenever you use an item that you get a freebie, so you just don't use the item, or you get a copy of it back, however you want to look at it. Each item has a different chance that'll happen, and some of the stronger items are only a 12% chance. I think some of the other ones are a little bit higher, or there's some that just don't consume it, like the star. But for the most part, your really good items are going to consume themselves on use, and you're going to have to depend on a freebie chance. I want to say it's been a bit since I've seen the run, but I know the run actually manipulates a few freebies in some of the fights.
So it manipulates
audio
Knife Guy,
cues.
Great Guy for free rock candies.
Yeah, I think that's in line with what I remember, because I remember watching Justin running it / grinding out world record attempts where that was a thing. But
The remake has a 33% chance across the board for every item to freebie.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the remake is wild.
I found that in the remake's code, and I don't want to speak for the developers. It looked like it might have been a coding mistake. It looked like it was meant to be 25% and just wasn't, because it was using a random integer function that where the ceiling is not actually included in the range. So it's 0 to 4. It can only it was 0 to 3. It can only be 0, 1, or 2, not 0, 1, 2, 3. So I don't know. I feel like it might have been supposed to be a 25% chance, but just there's two random functions, and one includes the ceiling and the other doesn't, and they use the one that doesn't.
So it could be one of those 1 in 256 with Vorpal or whatever.
Hey, guess
in,
what?
FF. Back
I forgot a location.
by Gore.
I forgot the ship.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh! Oh my gosh, the ship!
No! Don't break the illusion. We were trying the fade the ship strat. It's that's what happened.
Honestly,
we just didn't want to show you.
Strat.
Yeah, this place takes forever. I ain't going there unless I absolutely have to.
Well, and I mean,
Well,
this area just sucks if you get a bad boss at King Calamari.
yeah, because the HP count for that boss is extremely high.
Nothing I really want there.
Finally found something for
Actually,
Mario.
no, it's Gino that we need a weapon for.
No,
27.
Valador.
21. You know what?
It do things.
We're going with the shell.
Hey, knock knock. Who's there?
The door. Wait. Okay.
Yep, that's how most of our personal calls go too.
4, 2, 0. Oh wait, no. This was 0, yes. And this is 2. 1, 2, 3. I'm so used to Arma that I'm used to that box sequence.
Knock, knock.
Great job, Gino.
Oh
The
dear!
maximist of damage. Jeebus. Well,
What a place to find Jinx too.
I'm glad I waited.
Gino is contributing.
Not anymore.
That's going to ship late is pretty smart, because you can just kind of bust through this boss fight pretty fast. This is one of the worst places to get anything.
I mean, this is an absolutely terrible place to get Axums. And that's happened to me in multiple seeds.
Yeah, because even if the HP is divided among all of them, that's still a lot of breaker beams you can get hit with.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm a fan of bad checks. I love the Magitech Factory. And that's one of the worst ones, because you can get locked in any one of those 3 checks, and you're just Well, I've made a mistake in my life. I guess I am going to have to trash this seed and start again. Hoi, hoi. Gina, all right. Jinx, please, chill. Gino isn't even a good bodyguard. Let Mayro get killed.
Well, Mario doesn't have instant KO immunity.
I forget there's, actual status effects in this game.
Yeah, and I missed my Quicksilver. Is this it? No.
Why would it be? Of course, it's too easy.
We're going for the full clear, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, we are getting the full clear. Nope. Let's try this. Nope.
Asymmetry in this game is so weird. That is like one of the more unique parts about this game is this isometric view. It really doesn't make an appearance in many other games. And even further than that, very few games use it well.
It was kind of like interesting how they came to the decision to make this isometric. Somebody like proposed that very early on. They said, let's make it an isometric game, back when like everybody on the team was responsible for coming up with some kind of concept for what SMRPG could be. And they were kind of thinking like, that seems really interesting because like Donkey Kong Country just came out and those pre-rendered sprites look pretty nice. Like, what if we could do like pseudo 3D and isometric? And they're like, none of us know how to do that, so that would be really difficult. It'd be like starting over from zero as developers and artists. Let's do it, guys.
Yeah.
So this is the hardest fight in the world?
We're just sliding on by.
It's at the hide-on spot.
Oh, you fixed it in the next version?
So it literally has no HP.
That's true. Yeah.
I was gonna say something about how you fit this in a box, but
you fit the entire ship and the pipe.
Well, here's the thing: like dimensions always look a little bit different in isometric, right? You can fit a lot more space in that box than it looks.
Exactly.
I think this sushi was just not cut up properly.
Cube.
The hypercube.
It's the hypercube.
The Horridger cube. I'm gonna store my extra small charms in it.
Cube. Of course, it's Johnny.
Endo Cannon. 100%.
All right, we get a full clear, but maybe these should be pretty easy. Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're gonna blast through that fight.
I'd hope so at this point. Or else we're in for a rude awakening.
We're in for trouble. And make it double.
Make it double. Team Sawny blasting off again. Woo! I love this attack.
I was about to say I had to give one for the fans. For the fans of Geno Blast, you're welcome.
So specifically to Sid. Is what you mean?
Yeah, just me. I'm the only one, but I appreciate it.
I mean, even still, if this is done after or during because of everything being on fire, then the fans still get what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we have the max coverage. I hope we nary get this deep into the video on site.
I'm really hope we don't.
I'm hoping we get like 10 minutes in and then we just have to cut it off and everybody's like, wait. Hold on, I was interested in that. So we'll give, if something breaks, we'll give you the rest of it. Hold on. It's fine. We'll give it to you later. We're not gonna, promise and not deliver.
By the way, I will say this is not the first time I have had a vetted seed go completely awry.
Sometimes the vetter just cannot account for the runner. It's impossible.
Sinus and I play very similarly, but at the same time with me... Really? You're here!
What? I guess we would have been doing this anyway, most likely. We got bounced off the ship and just left. 100%.
Oh, Bowser's asleep. That's great.
That is... And he's the one that has group hug, too. Great.
He gets missed by the attack that would have woke him up.
Yep. It's great.
Hey guys, we love random numbers here.
Oh yeah.
You do have a fresh number and an AJ, don't you? Yeah, you got AJs.
But the problem is I can't do my favorite strat.
Oh,
I don't have enough FP. No world.
I don't have enough FP. You have 0 FP. Enough? You don't have any.
Exactly. Oh no.
I do love that they kept that in the remake.
Right?
I have to say, the FP system is a very interesting take on MP, where it's based, the entire team shares a, pool together rather than individual.
Not gonna lie, I would have laughed if that 2 damage had actually finished off Exor here.
Yeah, it does add an interesting layer of strategy to this game, I think.
It's definitely something that, I don't know if there's any, or if many other games that work that way.
Okay.
It's definitely.
Finally!
There we go.
All stores completed.
We're going for realsies now.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to be skipping straight to Smithy. And hoping the Toad has what we need.
Hey, Ashen.
I had so much fun with that sprite.
Can we change the estimate to Sinus? Just CYNAS.
Yeah.
I would love to. Unfortunately, the system is smart enough to only allow numbers in the estimate field.
Dang it!
Curse you, talented programmers.
The problem is they had to program with me in mind, so they really had to be very strict about what they could allow.
So I have a Crystalline and a Power Blast for going into Final Smithy.
Oh, low-level strats. Woo!
A. We have A, and it's like...
It's what I got comfortable with doing.
Hey! Maybe we can get more. No bathtubs here.
This is a bathtub-free zone.
Reminder, Axe does not fix scent issues. Please bathe regularly.
Yes.
This was a public service announcement.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, the rest of the attendees.
Yes.
You personally, you don't care. Please enjoy yourself. Yeah, we missed that by... Yes. Yeah. Please enjoy yourself. Yeah, you missed that boat by about 20 minutes.
No, not Red Essence. Crystalline first.
Yeah, I find it interesting the way that these interact, where Red Essence blocks you from being debuffed or buffed. So you actually
that actually didn't carry over to the remake.
Yeah, that was the weirdest part of the remake to me.
Ooh!
That was the weirdest part?
Yeah, literally.
Just that thing.
I can see that.
He did 2 damage!
Well, somebody's going to be on Star Egg duty.
What Star Egg?
Oh, true.
He's not getting red essences.
Gino, you're just gonna fall flat.
The fact that Red Essence blocks debuffs is what makes the beat Kulek speedrun not as awful as it could be. Because you have 7 turns to beat him, and if you don't, your run's over.
I mean, the debuff blocking is like 100% understandable. It's supposed to be like a superpower item. The fact that it blocks your buffs is what like confused me. I was like, wait, so there's actually a risk reward? And I wonder if that was intended or just like, oh yeah, we just don't want it to let you change your status at all. And they're like, oh yeah, oops.
I'm not entirely sure. So another weird thing about Red Essence is that group hug dispels it.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, because Red Essence is it's a status effect. It's got the highest bit of all the status effects, and I think that they did that partially so that you can't get any others.
Oh, that's how that works?
Yep.
That's interesting. I would have thought it was an additional thing. I didn't realize they coded it as a status effect.
Yep.
That's a cool fact, actually. Dude, that's the kind of stuff I live and die for.
I got lots of those.
Yeah, that's the best part about speedrunning is you understand a game on a level that like maybe even the devs don't, and I find that to be super cool.
Yeah, the devs have forgotten a lot about this game, so it's like the people that play it might actually know the most about it right now.
I would imagine that when like your job is to make a game, at a certain point you start purging information and just moving forward.
Not what I wanted to target.
That is a thing you can hit. Yep.
I didn't want to target the smelter, but I targeted the smelter.
Who smelter deltered?
This is getting out of hand very quickly.
Something that's like really cool about this game's devs is that most of them did not go on to become like famous. Like most of them have maybe a couple thousand Twitter followers, like at most. So that means that if fans ever reach out to them, like you're going to get a response, and they are going to be happy to hear from you.
Okay, Bowser's dead.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I mean, it seems like a lot of devs kind of like struggle in obscurity, unfortunately.
Oh.
I
pushed at the perfect time.
I wasn't sure if that was an O of like oops or good.
Think of blood pressure. Thanks, Drillbit. Yeah, blood pressure's definitely up from that. I don't need diamonds.
I don't know if this guy has blood, so that's a Woolseyism for sure. He seems like he mains like caffeine and iron or something like that.
Those three little dudes showing up to scold the big boss like just makes me laugh every time. Stop shaking the floor!
It's like when a streamer crashes out and the chat's like, yo, please calm down, streamer.
Yeah.
No, right. This game stinks and I hate it here. I'm leaving.
Now do us a favor and stop shaking the floor.
How many times have I had to tell you?
I love the Foundations week. We just built this yesterday. So stop, please.
We just built this yesterday. It's incredible. Why is Bowser still on the floor?
Wait, what? You are right. He's got 1 HP. I'm so confused.
Wait, how did that? Oh, wait. I know how that happened because I messed up the animation code.
Yes!
All according to plan.
That actually is 100% my fault why that happens.
I think I agree. The moment of terror when you're like, why is he still dead? I think is something you probably should fix. But hey, I'm gonna laugh at it while it still exists.
He wasn't actually dead. It's just I had to take I had to remove the code that animates like them falling from phase to phase because if you don't have 3 party members, like it will crash.
Oh,
so because there's no more animations, it doesn't make them stand upright at the end.
Oh, okay. So you can actually do like a 1 or 2 character if you get a decent or a weird seed. Interesting.
Yeah. But what I've actually like come up with fixes for that because back then I didn't really understand how animation code worked and now I do. So I've written like custom animations for all these battles that have to animate 3 characters for if you only have 1 or 2. Because if you don't do that, the game crashes.
I'd imagine at this point you know quite a bit about this game.
So
That part of the game has not been reverse engineered.
Let's go! I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Just as a heads up, this could end at any given time.
True.
I'm not sure how long this is going to take, nor really where I'm going to be, and apparently I'm on a good cycle.
Yeah,
That's
I'm sorry,
really
Sonny. We're going to have
lucky.
to cut your donation and send us. You've been overestimate.
Oh, I mean, I'm well overestimated.
I don't know what you're
It's
talking
all-
about. The estimate is definitely
What estimate? Yeah.
2 hours and 50 minutes and has been this whole time.
Yeah, no, it's kind of small on my screen. I'm sorry, I misread
We
it.
might need to extend that, depending upon how this goes.
Our red essence dispenser has bit the dust, unfortunately.
Oh yeah,
So-
here's the lag of the FX pack.
The boulder's already been moving.
I can count all the stones.
I love how some of the boulders just don't even spin. They're just like down here.
Yeah, there's like
Okay.
3 of them that
It's fine,
spin.
it's
The rest of them just slide across screen.
You thought this was boulder? Joke's on you. This is Space Zone in Mario Land 2.
No,
It's literally just a
rock.
rage. It's a rage game where it's like, well, time to push the boulder down the hill.
I do
Oh,
love
this
how his
is-
left hand just looks like a package of McDonald's fries.
I have thought that my entire life, and
So have
yeah,
I.
There are several sprites I cannot see properly, nor have I ever seen properly.
well, actually, when his hand is like in its neutral position, I thought he was holding a pencil.
That's fair.
Right?
I could see that too, yeah. There's like Emperor Gastal is like the infamous one, Emperor Doggo.
Oh yeah,
I have never seen him properly,
Okay.
ever.
Time's going to be coming up when the screens start shaking and explosions happen everywhere.
That feels like a
I
common,
love when that happens.
common spot and for games to hit their time. Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know how far out from it I am.
I haven't been counting. I usually count, but today I didn't.
I haven't been counting either. I've been laughing too hard to count.
Yeah. Also,
We're
I guess his HP is randomized, huh?
The only thing
Yeah.
we're counting is red essences at this point.
True,
Which-
the low level special.
I am down to 1.
I guess it's a good thing Gino was useless, or else we'd have a lot less.
Oh,
Look
the
at these
bomb
time
that does
blocks.
phantom damage.
Oh, I love that. That one actually does look like it's explicitly a coding error.
All right, Bowser, it's all you. Never mind. Mario survived on 1.
Oh my goodness gracious. Incredible.
All according to plan.
All according to Keikaku.
The cake has been served.
No, we got it off the chandelier, right?
We're still going. Okay, Mario is down. It's all you, Bowser.
This feels so much like a low level fight. Just like the 1 HP, the last red essence.
My brain is like in producer mode right now at the event, and I'm like, well, we're either gonna finish right now or we're gonna be here for another 15 minutes.
No. If this attempt dies, we're just done.
We're
done.
Good old mercy, but not for me.
Hey,
Let's
Triple level
go.
strats. Let's go.
amazing. Nice
Gee.
run.
Gee.
Holy
Nice
moly.
full clear.
I mean, I'll take
we
a
just-
full clear in sub 3.
Just wanted to make sure that we had plenty of content in case things go to the worst of the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, this went so poorly.
I
But
mean,
at the same
this
time, holy moly.
if this runs mid-event, this is literally how we're going to be feeling anyway. So
I
at least
mean-
we're all on the same page.
Well, the thing is, though, at the same time, if this happens mid-event, we're going to be laughing at it so hard.
I mean, it's going to be
having
funny.
a good time.
Yeah, it has been an absolute blast, honestly. Really enjoyed
I tried to drop some obscure lore, like in case people are watching it and it would be interesting to them.
I'm hoping that everybody takes the time to watch the release of it after. For
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely, because holy moly.
Yeah, maybe
RPG Limit Break bonus stage.
There were some highs and there were definitely some lows on this run, and that Smithy fight was by far the worst Smithy fight I've had in a while.
That was some Arma ending where I'm just like, well, I got both my fingers crossed. I'm getting my toes crossed. Hold on.
I went into full Arma focus mode there.
I feel like that's just kind of is the vibe of a marathon run, or it definitely has been the vibe of most of our random encounters runs. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I've been enjoying the more loose and fun vibe of it without having to worry about like keeping the schedule on track. It's like let's just enjoy the game and each other's company for a couple of hours and then just go do our thing. But I guess before I start doing our sign-offs, does anybody else have anything they want to say first?
Pidge.
Oh man, there's a lot. I don't want to keep us here too long.
There is a lot, but the first one I'm going to say is thank you for everything. The work that you've done on the rando, the help that you have given to the community for vanilla over the years. There have been so many guides that you've made that have helped me throughout the years, whether it's playing rando or learning the vanilla route. And I can't thank you enough for that. And then the other, well, two more. Of course, thank you to Sinus for vetting this amazing seed and at the same time horrendous seed.
Well, it's defeatable. That's about it.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but like, oh my god, you're gonna make me cry here. Like,
because you know what's coming up. And I told Pidge I was probably going to cry during this as well. But a massive shout out to our friend who lost her battle in the last async tournament we had, a tiny wet blanket. She was so supportive to everybody within so many different communities, and there's been a massive hole that we all have felt over the time that she's been gone. She was one of my opponents in the async tournament, the last async tournament that we had, and all we did was we just had fun. We were messaging back and forth pretty much the entire time. And I'm with you, Pidge. I miss her a lot.
She was so awesome. She helped me develop this. Like, she was like helping me find like empty space in the game for stuff that I just couldn't fit, and like that was like a big deal for me that like she helped me get over some serious hurdles like in this game's development. She was just like such a wonderful person, and
she did so much.
She really did. She was a gem, a real gem of a human, and we're lucky to have known her.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. It definitely, we got to remember to keep those people in our hearts so they're not gone forever.
And then,
for sure,
you know, I thought about one more that I want to give. And Pidge, is he in the room with you right now?
My boyfriend?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's in the other room playing probably a async game.
Okay.
If you will.
Because some massive shout outs to him. Sean's just amazing. And there's no other word to describe him than that. Amazing.
Can confirm. He was my best friend for a very long time. Still is.
And will be forever.
Yep, you got that right. He gives me so many ideas for this game. Like earlier on when we were talking about a road trip starts off and by the end of it you're talking about how to set up the stage. It's like we're kind of similar when we're driving to Montreal for No Reset Marathon. It starts off like, okay, honey, I'm going to help you stay awake. Then halfway through it's like, you want me to do what to the Uranage fight? He's amazing. I want to shout out the other developers for this randomizer, the original developers, which is Alanim and Dorkmaster Fleck, two very good friends of mine. And of course, Pat CDR, who's like the smartest person I've ever met in my life, has taught me a lot about like how stuff works in this game and is just like has so many great ideas for features that he just like goes and does. It just inspired me so much. And that's kind of where I got a lot of the inspiration for the stuff I'm doing for this rando now. So awesome human. He's great. Oh man. Everybody, like, there's just too many people in this community who are awesome. Like, I just gotta say.
You know, we forgot to mention Justin as well.
Oh, of course, Justin. Like, Justin isn't involved in the rando, but I was mostly thinking about rando shoutouts, but also Justin, like, hell yeah, that's my guy.
Like, Justin's always supportive when people come into the SMRPG community. He's helped out a bunch. There's been so much I've learned from watching him or watching his grinds throughout the years. Just holy moly.
Before we did this stream, Justin DM'd me on Facebook Messenger.
Oh, God.
Just the words, no, that's a knob. And it had an attachment, and I had to go look at it. My
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Justin.
Well,
But yeah,
I guess
the list is
go
too
ahead.
long.
Sorry.
The list is too long, so I thank you. Because even though the shout outs to Void were at the start, definitely got to give him shout outs here at the end. The dude is amazing. He's one of those that knows no stranger.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we have lost Pidge in the VMix, so
Oh,
yeah, it's streaming is even just streaming audio sometimes is more
You want
rate
to
intensive than you think it would be.
reload VMix real quick and see if we can get you back in real quick so you can finish up.
All right, should be back
hopefully.
Should be back, yeah.
now. Yeah, there you
Oh,
are.
can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay,
Hey,
so
Pidge, you just came up on the credits, and there's Sean.
oh, yeah. So I did. That's right. I'm
There you are
where
again.
John shipped this. Yeah, I've done a couple of things with this rhino at least. Yeah, I was saying like when Void got SMRPG remake and SGDQ, I don't run the remake. I built the damage calculator and some stuff that people use to run it. I've done one speedrun ever, and it was on GDQ hotfix. But I asked him like, "Yo, can I be on couch?" And he's like, "What kind of question is that?" So I got to be on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And another set of shout outs to Dark Kafka and Doomsday 31415.
They're heroes.
They are massive heroes.
Oh, they've done so much impressive work with this game, and I love just like talking shop with those guys about ROM hacking. Like I just learned so much.
I just love talking shop with Doom in general.
Yeah.
So from the content team, we really do appreciate both of you giving us your time and helping to display the randomizer and keep us kind of informed in how this exactly works and peel back the layers a little bit. It was a very fun watch. Hopefully we'll be able to do a proper random encounters with this, and hopefully you are watching this post the event, because if we're still here, I don't know what to think anymore. But with that, I am going to hope that the event has already started back up at this point, and you are watching this post-recording, post-event. And I'm going to kick it over to our host, Ashen, to sign us off and head us back into what is hopefully nothing.
Yes, so thank you all so much for watching this, and thank everybody who has been part of this pre-record that, again, we put together to play in case of emergency. But even if it's not an emergency and you're watching it later on YouTube, we appreciate you being here. We are RPG Limit Break, supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Please, please, please go to our website, rpglimitbreak.com/donate. 100% of your donations there go directly to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, who use their 40 years of work of inspiring conversation, support, and action to strengthen the fabric of communities, promote opportunities to thrive for anyone touched by mental illness, and all of the work that they do there. So thank you all. We're going to go ahead and I think this recording, if it's playing live, is just going to loop. But otherwise, that's the end.